ladies and gentlemen, the field umpires for tonight are Gavin Gore, who umpired his first senior game in 1986. He's umpired in 91 matches. He's umpired 4 finals. He's umpired here in the 1992 Foster's Cup Grand Final. With him, Brian Sheehan, one of the most experienced umpires in the league. 16 finals including 3 AFL Grand Finals. And Jeff Caulfield. This is his first final. Would you also please welcome family umpires Adam Stickle, Greg Harding and Sam Leslie, field umpires Peter Kelly and Laurie Page. And here come Adelaide, led by Captain Chris Whitcomb.
From Adelaide, they have come in the hope of winning an historic first premiership. A horde of supporters who've made their way from the city of Churches here to take on the best the Victorians have to offer. This is one of the great nights in Australian football, and a massive crowd is gathering to see if Essendon can retain its premiership title. Welcome to the 1994 Foster's Cup Grand Final between the Adelaide Crows and Essendon. And now to set the stage for tonight's heavyweight clash, Australia's own Deborah Byrne.
So many dreams appear in laughter. Some of these dreams have happened to me. Back through the years, there were days filled with laughter. Nights I spent trying to hold back the tears we all thought. But while we believed it, we didn't know how long we could be to hold.
what a magnificent sight. Waverley Park humming with anticipation. The big moment approaching for both sides. And here they come. Chris McDermott chipping out his piece of history by becoming the first man to lead the Adelaide Crows into a grand final. After twice reaching the semis in the last 3 years, the Crows have gone that extra step, removing the West Coast Eagles in overtime, Fitzroy and Collingwood. And this is the team they have to beat. The reigning day premiers, the reigning Foster's Cup champions, Essendon, making its 7th night grand final appearance. Amongst the squad, number 32, Tim Watson, equalling Chris Langford's week-old record of 31 night matches. All the finals action coming up right here on 7.
We'd now like to ask players from both teams and the umpires to come towards the men's area here at Waverley to line up for the national anthem.
And welcome back to Waverley Park. You're with some 50,000 fans here at the ground for what should be a most exciting grand final. Now, let's pause for the national anthem.
Would you please welcome again to centre stage, Deborah Byrne, for the singing of the national anthem.
viewing on the 7 network around Australia. I hope you can feel a part of this atmosphere. It really is a most exciting night. It could well be a history-making night for the Adelaide Crows, who are hoping to wait just 1 year less than the West Coast Eagles before tasting grand final success. And it's interesting that sometimes changing the rules doesn't hurt, because this year there was a slight change in the draw with the view to seeing the 2 best teams play off in the grand final, and I think you will agree that has been the case. The Adelaide Crows and the Bombers. Let's go now down to the toss, and here's Dipper.
Yes, here we are in the middle of the ground, and Debbie's first time she's flipping a coin. You nervous?
I'm terrified. I want to touch the football.
Well, you can touch the football. Go on, touch the footy. That's the girl. And we're just waiting for the captains to come out. We're just waiting for the 2 captains to come out. Oh boy, is football the winner tonight? Absolutely magnificent out here. It's dead calm. The ground's a little bit dewy. So I think the flip is just going to be for a psychological... Okay, the boys are here. Off you go, Deborah. Paul's called heads, and tails it is. Okay, Chris has won the toss and is kicking right to screen. So once again, Sandy, football's the winner here tonight.
Yes, it certainly is. Thank you, Dipper. And also a winner is Jared Healy joining me tonight. And it's interesting, Jared, because the bookmakers have the Bombers as the favourites. Do you agree?
Not really. I think the Crows will go in as favourites tonight. I think they've had terrific form throughout the Foster's Cup. And let's have a look at their squad. Only the one change. Stephen Rowe unfortunately misses out for Simon Tregenza, whose input at centre bounces is superb, and he's a real ball carrier. David Pittman, well, he's a big task if he gets the job on Salmon. And Ben Hart, of course, superb last week, BOG as a midfielder. Sean Wren, probably the best ruckman in the competition. 2 changes for Essendon. There's one of them, Paul Salmon on screen. And with Stephen Alessio missing out, of course, through suspension, his job will be even more important. Rick Ollerenshaw comes in also. He's the player who set the Bombers alight in last year's grand final. Well, Tim Watson, also another grand final. You couldn't buy his experience. And Cockatoo Collins. Well, it's a mouthful. Let's just say CC.
All right, let's quickly go down to Neil Curley, who's here for the Crows. Neil, they're due for a win. They're expected to win back home in South Australia. Are they going to be feeling that added pressure?
No, I don't think there's any pressure attached to this game at all from Adelaide Crows' point of view. They're well prepared. They've had a great run into this Foster's Cup campaign. The atmosphere in the room was fantastic. They were a little bit tense, but they were all focused on what they had to do. And I don't think any club in the history of the game has had an impact on football like the Adelaide Crows have. They're well coached, they're well administrated, and they're very sound financially. And I think they're going to be a power in the AFL for a long time to come.
Thank you, Neil. Our commentators, Bruce McAvaney, Ian Robertson and Kevin Bartlett.
Thanks, Sandy. It is a great night. Ball held aloft. Adelaide go to the right. Essendon to the left. Fantastic crowd here. Probably 60,000. It's grown by the minute. Wren got the first hand on the footy. It'll be tough early. The first kick to O'Donnell, the best and fairest from last year at the club champion in a premiership year. Maynard looked for a free kick. Anderson got the ball across to Visca. Went short, lip tap was off, plays on. Called to play on. Held up by Wanganeen. Brilliant tackle. Back by Anderson. Pressure on early. Visca again. Up towards half forward. Smart. Good handball. Lovely hands by Masidi. Found Cowthorpe. Went out wide. The Bombers have got a chance early.
Diving to try and take that mark with Somerville. He gets the ball back, tackled quickly. The ball is very hot, and the tackling quick and effective early in this game. Somerville is awarded the free kick on the back part of the centre square. Somerville, big job for him with Alessio missing. Salmon playing up at full forward. Chance for Kilpatrick, gets it off to Ollerenshaw, wearing number 35 this evening. Kick towards centre half forward. Manton makes a contest of it. Bickley's there for the Crows. A quick hand pass. Tries to get it to Pittman. He was under enormous pressure. Tregenza back to Bickley. Bickley's little kick. Chopped off by Buick. Buick can't control it. It goes over for a throw-in.
And the interchange players for the Adelaide Crows is Brown, Jarman, Chalmers and Rivray. And interchange for Essendon, Simons, Kickett, Danaher and young Delaney there.
Wren goes with Somerville. Off the ground by the Crows, up towards centre wing. Under pressure that time by O'Donnell. Gets a second grab, free kick going to Essendon. Throw called. So the Bombers with another free kick. Ollerenshaw. 50 metres out, Pittman in the front spot's got the job on Salmon. It'll be one of the big keys of the match, how well the Fish performs. He kicked 4 goals in that preliminary final win last year. Buick got half a dozen that day. Target, Frasciuto. What a great find he is. Smart on a lead. Half volley was very good. Turned Stevenson inside out. Got it back to Lee from 70 metres. Haul the target. Watson playing on him. Modra gives it back. Watson with a grab. It's already played in 3 night premierships. That one high and wide is going to stay in. Olarinshaw with a big fly. Couldn't take it. Mercedes' hands were quick. Pushed forward by Lee. Going to ground Olarinshaw. O'Donnell's handball found Cowthorpe. Clever Cowthorpe. Excellent bit of footy to Mercedes. Under pressure to centre wing. The ball's pretty hard to get. Scoring's going to be difficult early. Hart turns and twists and goes back towards the 70-metre mark. Smart goes high, couldn't quite take the mark. McGuinness swoops on it. He can nearly kick this from 50. Goes long. Modra got it. What a start for the superstar full forward. His acceleration was excellent then.
Probably a bit lucky, Kevin, don't you reckon? I think McGuinness's kick was meant to go closer to the goal line than into Modra's hands.
15 metres out. Modra goes for them goals.
Well, he's a great player, Modra, and you've got to remember that last year he kicked 129 goals, and the next highest goal kicker for the Adelaide Crows was 28, and that was by Liptak. So here's Smart going up there. He's got young Stevenson playing on him, which is a big task for that young boy. Tremendous pick up there by McGuinness. It wasn't a directed kick towards Modra, but he plays in front and took it in front. One thing to mention about Tony McGuinness, he always picks the ball up with one grab. He never paddles the ball along in front. That's why he doesn't leave himself open to be hit by an opposing team. You see Brown there and Chalmers and Big Rouvray sitting on the interchange bench for the Crows.
And Brett Chalmers, an interesting player for Adelaide this year. The tap down, Mercedes. Ben Hart overruns it, Wren's in there, picked up by Mercedes, can't get clear of the pack, the hand pass not bad. Olarinshaw tries to tap it to Harvey's advantage, but he's dispossessed well by McGuinness. Another example there of what Kevin Bartlett was talking about, a one-grab player, away to Anderson. Anderson over the top, Tregenza, in turn to Lee. Lee bombs away, into the square, Fletcher gets back and forces a rush behind. So the Crows lead 1-1, Essendon yet to score. The Bombers have forced the ball forward once to centre-half forward.
We can see there, good pushing back there by Fletcher and gets his fist to the ball. He's 6'5". He played very close and he's quick. Of course, Modra, one of the quickest full forwards, but so's this boy.
He's been under a little bit of a cloud as far as preparation is concerned this year, Dustin Fletcher. The ball now back near the centre of the ground. Attempted mark by Cockatoo Collins. Takes possession, tries to hand pass forward. Olarinshaw, now Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick goes direct in the Salmon direction. And Salmon, when he's in that position, it's impossible to stop him. And he takes the mark in front of his face about 40 metres from goal.
He booted 65 goals last year to be the Bombers' leading goal kicker. Buick booted 52, and Derek Kickett was their 3rd highest goal kicker with 38. And of course, Derek Kickett is not with us tonight, but Salmon always takes his time in pulling up his socks. Makes certain that he's well balanced and is usually a very accurate kick for goal.
Olarinshaw important early for Essendon, setting that up. Some good hands. Salmon will kick from about 45 metres, leans back, kicks it magnificently. Well, the 2 big goal scorers have got the first 2. Modra at one end and Salmon at the other. The stage has been set for a great final in the first 5 minutes.
We see Kilpatrick coming away, the former North Melbourne player. That's a lovely long kick, and Salmon once more out in front. And even though Salmon's 6'10", he is a leading full forward. He's not a guy who actually takes a lot of marks over his head in the square, but he is a leading full forward in front of Pittman.
Crows by a point at Waverley Park. Great scene set here with Salmon and Modra getting the goals early. Somerville jumps first. Wren probably got his hands on it. Mercedes over the top of it. As far as Cowthorpe couldn't get it away. Hard ball to win. Wiedemann tries to weave his way out. Harvey turns on a coin. Cowthorpe's handball good. Olarinshaw's been freed early. Doolan goes wide. Buick the target. Buick's been in magnificent early season form. Cockatoo Collins who can really charge. Centering kick over the 50-metre line. Maynard at the back of Manson. Buick off the ground. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Won't quite get there. Scores a level. It's 1-1 apiece.
Bickley's got the big job of picking up Darren Buick. He's a goal kicker, and he's one of those guys who can kick those balls off the ground like that. But big job there for Bickley.
Kick in has been taken by Ben Hart. Ben Hart's kick to the wing is good. Rashudo, really like the look of this young fella. A kick towards half forward. Clean bowls Nigel Smart. The ball forced over by young Stevenson. And we'll have a throw in right half forward for the Crows. It's probably 2 kicks from their goal. And we'll have a look now at what the weather's got in store for us.
16, going to be 11. Perfect. Couldn't get it better for this grand final.
Calthorpe misses it. Stevenson in the middle of the action again. Just 17 years of age is Robert Stevenson, recruited from the Western under-18s. Ball up, awkward one. Punched away by Stevenson. Calthorpe plays it in front of himself, then tries to flip it to the advantage of O'Donnell. Wiedemann caught by Kilpatrick. Kicked by Rashudo, marked by Harvey. Sweeping hand pass. Wanganoon's got a bit of space here from Lee. Wanganoon has a good look up towards centre half forward. But an excellent mark taken by Jamison for the Adelaide side.
He's been given the job on Hurd. The champion forward. Here's McGuinness. Loose man created. Olorenshaw tried to run him down. Goes inside to Genza. Modra the target. Poor kick. Too short. Bullen takes it. Harvey under pressure to Watson. Watson with a bit of time. O'Donnell his target. Good stretch by O'Donnell. Gets around Ben Hart. Centres the ball in towards Buick. He's on the lead on his own. He's getting away from Bickley early. Buick takes off. He loves to charge away. Salmon's his target with Manton. Going with him was McDermott. Manton gets a second grab to Salmon. Salmon gets around. Couldn't quite. Maynard put the tackle on. Bombers under great pressure now. Cockatoo Collins over the top. McDermott comes in and holds him a free kick to Essendon, to Cockatoo Collins against the captain.
Shocking kick before by Tregenza. That's one of the weaknesses in his game. He won't kick the ball long. He always kicks with a bent leg, and he put Essendon into attack. We see there Pittman there over the ball, and we see McDermott there grab Cockatoo Collins there and holding the man, and it's been paid.
He looks as though he's found his feet, Cockatoo Collins. He was a little bit out of it last week against Hawthorn, but showing good glimpses of form early in the game.
Kicks from just inside 50. Hits the post.
Calthorpe's got the big job tonight of picking up Tony McGuinness, number 48. Here's Calthorpe, and very good tagger. And he'll make McGuinness work for his kicks, but McGuinness is a champion.
Visca kicks in, but it's disallowed by the central umpire, or one of the 3 central umpires, officiating down at that end of the ground. McDermott takes the second kick in, kicks it further forward. Bickley's the target. Manton couldn't quite hold it. Bickley, handball inside to Rashudo, in turn to Tregenza, hand pass Wren. Tregenza good running. Let's have a look at this job's a little bit better. Yes, it is. Modra out in front of Fletcher takes the mark, 40 metres from goal. And good work by the Crows, taking it the length of the ground, finishes with the champion full forward. And Modra, no trouble with the distance, but just off to the right. And through for his first behind for the evening. He's kicked 1-1, Tony Modra. And the fans are out here in their full, 1-2 apiece. We've got 12 minutes left in this first term.
Plenty of Adelaide fans as well. Essendon with a huge following in Melbourne. And the Crows have got a lot of support. Fletcher goes straight down the centre. Somerville his target. Buick just sort of laid it off for Kilpatrick. Anderson uses some pace and gets around Olorenshaw. Ex-Bomber, remember he played in the Premiership night final for them in 1990. Watson goes wide. He was a teammate of Anderson that night and out on the full. McGuinness to bring it back in.
Watson's got the job playing on Tony Hall in defence tonight.
McGuinness will kick from about 80 metres. Eye on the boundary, looking for something inside. Now Smart provides a lead, a centering kick, hoping for a big mark. Modra's in the front spot, Fletcher the back, Wiedemann's hands okay. The Hart got it off very well to Liptak round his body. Wanganoon in the front spot. At the back was Lee, gave it to Watson. Watson hugs the boundary line again, that's a better kick. And Calthorpe with McGuinness running together and out of play. The coach of last year in many ways, wasn't he, to turn this club around, Sheedy. And Adelaide has been heavily back today. It's flip of the coin. Take your pick. 5-4 on each of two. A dead set even money bet.
And that's the way it should be. Wangadeen in a little bit of trouble. Smart gets it to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick to the front of the square. Modra at the back. Dustin Fletcher just makes it a little bit difficult for the Adelaide full forward. It goes through for one behind to the Crows. So they lead by that score. 1-3 to 1-2. Graham Corns and John Halbert in the Crows coach's box. Absolutely perfect conditions, Kevin, for a game of football tonight.
Well, it is, and both these sides, and Dipper said before, neither side will have an advantage with the breeze, so the best side is certainly going to win. It won't be the elements.
Fletcher's kick in goes well past the 50-metre line. Kilpatrick to Mercedes. Mercedes' long kick, centre-half forward, marking contest. Punch back near the centre of the ground. Mercury. Down he goes. McDermott the tackler. Buick. Little handball. Fumble by Olorenshaw. Rashudo was good. Red. Ball handling good. Tregenza. Rashudo again for his fourth kick. A long one. In towards full forward. Modra! That's a mark. A brilliant mark by Tony Modra. 30 metres from goal directly in front.
Well, already he's looking a bit too dangerous for young Dustin Fletcher. Only played that one game last week after being out. And, of course, playing in front. He kicked 6 goals on him in the preliminary final last year. So Tony Modra already with 1 goal. And he already has had a miss as well. So lining up for goal number 2.
Again, distance no problem. But his accuracy is a concern for the Crows early in the game. 1 goal, 2 to Tony Modra. We'll have another look at this mark.
Got that beautiful jump early on the side there of Dustin Fletcher. Only 2 players have kicked 100 goals in league football quicker than Tony Modra. That was Alan Jakovic, and the great John Coleman took 21 games. He took 22.
Harvey straight down the centre. It's an impressive comparison, isn't it? With one of the great legends of the game. Here's Anderson, under pressure, Liptak outnumbered. O'Donnell takes a safe mark at centre half back. Squares it. Harvey's target. Couple of real champs at Essendon, those two over the years, O'Donnell and Harvey. Cowthorpe outnumbered. Bickley, very well played. It's been hurled up, coming back to Bickley.
Well, it was going to be advantage if McGuinness could have got away, but he had no chance, so the kick is going back to Bickley.
You see Cowthorpe there catching him high, Bickley. He played advantage, but it was a wrong advantage rule. Now it's been brought back to Bickley, which is the correct one.
And centre wing on this magnificent night for this Foster's Grand Final. Big night cup. Wiedemann hip and shoulder was good. Olorenshaw stood his ground, out of play.
Well, Wiedemann's a bit of a favourite of the Adelaide Crows, but we've got to remember that he's a Victorian. Comes from Fish Creek. Trained at Richmond, trained at St Kilda, trained at Collingwood, plays with the Adelaide Crows.
Well, Somerville went to ground, and Wren pretty disappointed there that Somerville gets the free kick. Just backward a centre wing. Game now settling down. Adelaide leading by a couple of points. Somerville in towards the centre square. About 5 players went up. Hart couldn't quite hold it. Chance here for Cockatoo. Collins, brilliant grab. Did it magnificently. Put Kilpatrick under a bit of pressure. Left foot kick. This might test the big fish. Salmon and Pittman running together. Pittman off the ground out on the full. Well, what a mistake.
He was a bit unlucky then, Bruce, because he got in front of Salmon, and Salmon's very agile for his size.
Salmon short kick, not good. Visca straight back to Salmon. Stood, waited, sized it up, centred it. Somerville, he's trying for a Manton in the front spot. On his chest. In front of McDermott.
Well, this kid started his career with Essendon at full back and was found wanting, but moved to the forward line in the reserves last year and did very well, and has played on the forward line in these Foster's Cup games.
Wren was the one coming in late. Manton's kick from about 50 looks good. It's straight, it's got the legs, it's a goal. The Bombers are in front. Manton gets his first. Essendon lead 2-2 to 1-4.
Well, it's good to see that kid do well up there at centre half forward and playing in front of Big Sean Wren, who's getting back, building the wall there for the Adelaide Crows. And this is a good performance by Mann if he can establish himself on the forward line, give the Bombers that extra tall fella down there across half forward.
So Essendon take the lead by 4 points. A bounce in the centre. Mercury looked for the free kick. No whistle, so keeps going. Ola Renshaw tries to get it clear. Intercepted by McGuinness. McGuinness goes straight towards goal and a brilliant pass. On that occasion, it was well weighted. Modra in front. Fletcher wasn't all that far away, but Modra took the chest mark.
He should have had 3 goals in the first quarter, but his pace is a worry for Fletcher, even though Fletcher is quick. But a la Jason Dunstall, out in front, never takes his eyes off the ball. But his confidence will be a little bit shaky at the moment.
Well, Tony Modra has done very well. That's his 4th mark. This will be his 4th kick. 1 goal, 2. Alongside his name at present. It's 1 goal, 3.
And Robbo, they've all been to the same side, haven't they?
Last year he kicked double figures on 3 occasions. He kicked the 13 and against Richmond. He also kicked 10 against Richmond and 10 against North Melbourne. But the way he's kicking tonight, you'd think he was a backman.
And just dropped his head a little bit when he missed on that occasion too. Fletcher now to kick in. Prefers the members' side. A good long kick out in the Somerville direction. And Peter Somerville does well. Takes a strong mark in front of a pack of 3 players. He kicks it along the wing. Mercury, now O'Donnell. Can't do much with it. Chris McDermott and Ben Hart. Ben Hart looks as though he might have the job on O'Donnell, which will be a terrific matchup if they stay playing alongside each other all night.
Been switching them up a bit, Robbo. McDermott had O'Donnell for a short time, and Hart's been running with Mercury and O'Donnell. Wiedemann goes back to McDermott. He's got a bit of time. A high ball to centre half forward, hoping that Smart can get there. Wanganeen kept his eye on it with courage. Watson handball was very good to Dolan at centre half back. Essendon again rebound up to centre wing. Buick waits down. Maynard goes high with Manton. Buick twists, turns. Left-hand handball didn't have much on it. Holding his place there was Bigley. Wren has to go with Somerville, the 2 big men. Buick good hands. O'Donnell chips it round the corner to half forward. In the front spot, Hurd. At the back was Jamison. And they run it to the boundary line and out of play. Jamison with the job on the champ, young Hurd.
0-0-0-0 for James Hurd at this stage.
Wren, front spot. Somerville comes in from the back. Jamison tried to snare it. O'Donnell again gets his hand on the footy. Handball, retrieves, pushed in the back. Play on call. Rashudo up towards half forward. Smart did well. Was held onto for a moment. Stevenson trying to run with him. Still Smart there. Mercury goes with him. Wiedemann goes in. Gets caught by Harvey. Play on call. Stevenson goes out wide. Chance for Hall. And also Lee. And coming in Ola Renshaw. Well played Ola Renshaw, because the Bombers didn't have the numbers there. Adelaide had a chance and they ran it out of play. The best possible result from that scenario.
Good play by the youngster. A lot of players try and keep the ball in that last line of defence instead of heading for the boundary line and then live to fight another day.
55 metres from the Adelaide goal. Nigel Smart doing the ruck work. Liptak gets it cleared at Tregenza. In a little bit of trouble. Kicks it off the side of his right boot, but Fletcher gathers it. Awkward kick by Dustin Fletcher goes across the half-back flank area. It's rolling close to the boundary line. It will stay in. Good play there by Kilpatrick, and he forces it over. The contest was a good one, racing for the ball between he and Greg Anderson. And we'll have a boundary throw in just forward of centre wing.
See the pace on here. We see Anderson, McGarry medal winner and a former Bomber player, but Kilpatrick, a former North player there, just pushing it over the line.
Rashudo punches it forward for Adelaide. Lee swoops on it at half forward. Centering kick. Modra out in front of Fletcher this time. Liptak to try and help him. Modra goes to ground. Fletcher's handball on the up was excellent to Dolan. Essendon come away again from centre half back. Dolan's probing kick. Jamison's fly. Good hands against Hurd that time in Manton. And a man of great skill, the leading goal kicker in Adelaide in the opening season in 1991. Goes back in the Smart direction. Stevenson, what a big job the 17-year-old's been given tonight. Chance for Liptak to swing it out wide. Does so. Visca's got an opportunity. Will use Tregenza now. Surely he's got to use this effectively. Goes for goal. Chips, and chips it well. The Crows are in front. It's a good final, this one. It's early days, I know, but there's a lovely feeling out here tonight.
Well, he's capable of doing that, Tregenza, and I'd like to see him kick the ball a lot longer. He fiddles around with the ball too many times for my liking, but on this particular occasion, you see Liptak with the quick hands, gets it across there to Visca. who they regard as one of the toughest players in the Adelaide side. And this time at last, Tregenza with a long kick. Former drafted by Footscray, but elected to play with the Crows.
Well, Simon Tregenza's 8th possession resulted in the Adelaide Crows' 2nd goal. Rashudo doing well around the middle, gets it to Ben Hart. Ben Hart kicks it long and high. Watson under a bit of pressure, recovery pretty good. Lovely little hand pass to Dustin Fletcher, who left his man. That shows a bit of confidence. So maybe, even though Modra's had a few touches on Fletcher, it's a good sign for the fullback.
Bird's off for Essendon and young Simons is on.
Ola Renshaw kicking towards the centre. Manton over the top. O'Donnell. Masidi, the kick smothered by Visca. Masidi again gives away a little bit of ground. Ola Renshaw skillfully. That was really good stuff. And he kicks it wide where Cockatoo Collins has taken the mark. In short, Mercury for his first real possession. His kick towards centre half forward. Goes over the top. Big Salmon is there. Wren stood his ground. Good stuff. Kilpatrick dispossessed by Anderson. Anderson's underneath all that. And by gee, was a bit stiff. He didn't get a free kick there, Greg Anderson. One of those tackles a little high. But the umpire elects to throw it in the air at centre half forward for the Bombers, about 55 metres from their goal. Crows lead by 3 points. Somerville, Manton, now McDermott. Gets the ball clear of the pack, which is what he's asked to do. Wren, a little too behind Rashudo there. Masidi tackle. Gets it back now for Jamison. Jamison, Bruce has already mentioned his skill. That time wasn't quite what he wanted. Simons, a kick across the 50-metre line. Buick. Oh, well done by Darren Buick. He could dog this. He does. Brilliant football, Buick.
Well, that's what he's capable of doing, Darren Buick. I mentioned earlier that last year he booted 52 goals to be the 2nd highest goal kicker. He's always been a marvellous player around goals, got a terrific turn of speed. Young Simon's on the ground then, just replacing Hurd, gets it up towards Buick, and Bickley's got the job on him tonight, but the recovery is just exceptional there by Buick, and he's a goal kicker. He's a bit like Peter Dacos. He's an innate goal kicker. They bounce, they wobble, they go in all directions, but he usually kicks them, and he also looks like he's got a bit of sledging in him too.
Very kind, Kevin.
2-5-3-2. Cheeky Buick, but what a player he is. He did kick 6 in that preliminary final. Liptak goes up towards the 50-metre line. Hall, who's been shadowed but very well by Watson early. Smart round his body. Modra the target in the front spot. Takes the mark. Now he kicked a goal from here against Collingwood. He had a lead on. He goaled from this very position against the Magpies with a banana ball. This time goes drop punt. Just hoping there. Lee gets back. Couple of grabs, goes over from behind. Adelaide up to 2-6 to 3-2. Yes, Watson's done. There's Hurd, who's off early. Simon's on. Watson's done well on Hall early.
Yes, we haven't cited Tony Hall, who did so well by booting 4 goals in the first half last week. But still, Fletcher's having his troubles with Modra. The Bombers are lucky that he's not on target.
Very short to Watson. Oh, only half a kick by Tim, an awful one. He had 2 opportunities. One was Wanganeen and the other was O'Donnell, and he found Lee in the centre of them. Lee given the job of minding Wanganeen. He normally starts in the back pocket, and the Bomber fans tell him to hurry up with it. He's waiting for a lead. Hall provides the first. Oh, gives it an awful old hook, that one. He kicked it like a back pocket and out on the full.
Well, he's the oldest player in the Adelaide Crows side. Started his career at Hawthorn, played reserves football, wasn't good enough to crack it in the senior side. So he's done well at the age of 30 to be a pretty integral part of the Adelaide side over the last 3 years.
Only Tim Watson older out there tonight, and that's unforgivable, isn't it? Straight back and straight back to the Crows. Ben Doolan.
Well, he's got a lot to live up to, Ben Doolan. He's got big reps on him. He hasn't done anything yet in league football. Here's his chance for the Bombers.
Ben Hart centering kick. Hall sets himself. Modra the fly, can't grab it. Fletcher well played. Thumps it over the line, concedes a point.
Well, doesn't he look dangerous at the moment, Tony Modra?
I think Dustin Fletcher would breathe a sigh of relief there because Modra had the chance to take the mark.
He's a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, but Modra's in terrific touch. His kicking is a little bit shaky at the moment, and therefore his confidence will be a bit down, but I think the next time he kicks a goal, we could see Tony Modra's in for a very good night.
Fletcher kicks into the far side, good distance out towards O'Donnell, and he did it in the finish. It looked so easy. Over the top of Lee, hand pass for Wanganeen, who's got a little bit of space. He's at centre half back, he kicks over the centre. No mark to Manton. Through goes Bickley, didn't take the football with him. Manton and Michael Simons. And Chris McDermott, the Crows captain, last to regain his footing. So the bounce on the right point of the square. Somerville and Wren. Well done, Somerville. Hart couldn't quite get rid of it. Calthorpe, O'Donnell, Buick. Back to Simons. Simons, shot for goal. Oh, he could have let it go. It was a goal, but he'll kick it anyway.
Always mark those ones, Robbo. You're never quite certain where you are. I mean, you might as well take the mark on the chest and make an absolute certainty of it.
You would have marked it because it would have been a goal for KB.
I think Paul Seven did exactly the right thing there, Robbo. Terrific hands there by O'Donnell getting the ball out. And we've got to remember that O'Donnell has finished in the top 3 in Essendon's best and fairest for the last 5 years.
Very valuable player. And so is that man. Salmon kicks the goal.
2 goals now to Paul Salmon. He's often played very, very well against the Adelaide Crows. They've had a great difficulty with his height down there in the forward line. That's why Pickman's down there tonight. We see Buick with the ball. Gets it across to Simons, who came onto the ground replacing Hurd. And he could have let it go, but he wasn't quite certain exactly where he was. He could have been backing back into the goalpost there, and he had to mark it and just make a certainty of it.
Handy one, isn't it, as the quartet kick it. Delaney, Chris Danaher and Hurd just warming up.
I was just going to say, young Delaney there last year, the youngest player to play league football, just 17 years of age. 4 games last year, and they've got big raps on him down there at Windy Hill.
O'Donnell with 10 touches has been important early. Inside the last minute in this opening quarter, Essendon lead by 7 points. Somerville again flies early with Wren. No free kick to Wren. He looked for one. Hart can't get through. Caught for holding it.
That's a bit rough, KB, isn't it?
Well, I'd like to see it again.
The tackle forces the ball to spill free. Wouldn't it be better just to call play on?
Somerville from the centre square.
You've got to make an effort to get rid of the ball once you tackle.
Big play here, because if Essendon get another goal, it'll be a very handy lead in the context of this game. Salmon was there, it was punched away. Kilpatrick had to concede ground, but cleverly to Masidi. Masidi back to half forward. Manson, Bickley. Buick was roving. Bickley just held that one up. Anderson goes crashing in with Bickley, and Buick forever busy. McGuinness tries to lay it off. Again, Cockatoo Collins looks for a free kick, and it'll be a bounce down at half forward. Essendon inside the 50, but the clock is ticking away. Sheedy down low. We saw Bomber Thompson 5 minutes ago, their great captain and champion, on the sidelines tonight. Pittman just wins a Cockatoo. Collins looked for a free kick, didn't get it. Adelaide defending strongly and bravely at this stage. As the siren sounds on what has been an excellent opening term, Essendon leads Adelaide by 26 to 19. It's 4-2 to 2-7. Lead changed hands 5 times in the opening quarter. Essendon leads at quarter time, 4-2 to Adelaide 2-7.
You're Rex Hunt, we're not. Come on, the Crows!
Yes, I'm Rex Hunt, and you're not. Just check your local guides tomorrow, noon Eastern time. It's Debut and Rex also hosting the Football Hour in Sports World, which resumes tomorrow. The Big Dipper and Neil Curley on the boundary. And Dipper, firstly, James Hird. Has he got an injury problem, or was he taken off because he wasn't getting a kick?
Obviously because he wasn't getting a kick. The young fella's a little bit frustrated tonight, and it was interesting when Sheedy came down. He went straight to Hird and was like a teacher to a pupil. Just said, just calm down, breathe in the atmosphere and enjoy the night. And also Pittman's prepared to run off the back line. We saw him run twice from full back to the centre square.
Yeah, he does that, but that's not his job. His job is to prevent Salmon from kicking goals, and at this stage, he's not doing very well. Actually, there's nothing in this game, Dip. It's a very even game. The only difference, of course, is that Essendon has been a little more accurate in front of goal, and Buick is causing a lot of concern for the Adelaide defence.
So looking forward to a great second quarter, Bruce.
The Big Dipper and Neil Curley as Kevin Sheedy and Graham Corns has left the arena. Kevin Bartlett and Ian Robertson to have a look at the first quarter.
Well, we have a look at kicks and handballs there, where Essendon's had quite a few more possessions, 50 to 36 to 42 to 29. But I think Adelaide's been quite direct in their approach to goal. If Modra had in fact had a kick straight, he could have had 5 goals in that first quarter. The game has been very, very even. Neither side's been able to, Robbo, to really get a break on one another.
You can't read much into the fact that Essendon have had 86 to, what, 71?
No.
Not at all?
No, you can overdo handball, and as we know, a player can handball, run on, kick it and handball again, and you can get 4 or 5 possessions in a matter of a second. But whether you make any ground or whether they're to an advantage is another thing.
Bickley Buick's been a terrific duel in the first quarter, both with 7 touches.
Yes, and it's going to be very important as that game goes on, because Buick is a goal kicker, and if Bickley can actually stop Buick from kicking goals, I think he would have done a good job by the end of the night. I'd like to see McDermott in the middle, playing that tough role that he does. They've had in that first quarter young Hart playing around the ball, got it 5 times, but he doesn't get the ball out to his running players like a strong McDermott does.
Brian Sheehan just waiting, and crowd getting restless here now as we're about to go. 4-2 the Bombers, 2-7 Adelaide. Essendon defending the night premiership. Adelaide going for its first flag in the AFL competition. Wren's tap found Hart swooping through. Hart's left foot towards full forward. Hall there. Watson again, who had an excellent first quarter. Fletcher, who can improvise very well. Olarenshaw's little handball to himself. Off the ground, not all that good. Liptak had it stealed from him. Very good play by Stevenson. Missed there by Rashudo. Pressure from Masiti. McGuinness running it towards the line and over.
He's been a champion for a long time, Tony McGuinness. He's the youngest winner ever to win the Magarey medal, which is the equivalent to the Brownlow medal over in South Australia, won it at 18 years of age.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, in 1982. A kid from Glenelg at the time. Won best and fairest at Footscray and Adelaide. Olarenshaw's handball to Calthorpe. Inside, very good. Almacini might have taken his eye off it just for a moment, which is most unlike his play. His left foot now under pressure. Bickley versus Buick, that duel we talked about. McDermott sweated off cleverly. Wobbled one, not a good kick. It's good take though by Somerville against the flow.
And Somerville doing a pretty good job for Essendon. We mentioned that he has to play in the ruck. Salmon down at full forward playing his first game for the year. There's Salmon going for the ball now. Couldn't quite take the mark. Cockatoo Collins beaten for it by Bickley. Opportunity for O'Donnell. Gets it across to Simons. That hand pass really wasn't all what Simons planned to do, I wouldn't think. Kicked across the half-forward line by Kilpatrick. Calthorpe. Now Buick. Buick's kick across his body, or Cockatoo Collins allowed it to go over his head. Maynard there, helped out by McDermott. McDermott's kick goes back to the 50-metre line, and well done, Kilpatrick. Kept his eye right on the footy and took a safe chest mark. In towards the 50-metre line proper. Good mark taken by Somerville. Probably held it just long enough. Ben Hart a little late there.
What happened then was that Wren went back to pick up Paul Salmon, expecting Kilpatrick to kick the ball into the square, and left Somerville as the ruckman, as a loose man at centre half forward. So it was good vision there by Kilpatrick to get the ball across to Somerville. You may even see Wren charging in. He was trying to make up about 30 metres, but he couldn't get there.
Somerville will kick from 55 metres. The lead by Salmon goes over the top. Manton gives away a little bit of ground. Hand pass was pretty good for Calthorpe. Now O'Donnell. O'Donnell shot for goal. Very good, Gary O'Donnell's a goal. So Gary O'Donnell's first goal is the Bombers' 5th. The Essendon fans are pretty happy. They lead by 13 points.
What a fabulous player Gary O'Donnell is. Took about 5 years. He played about 5 years in the reserves at Essendon before he even got a senior game. And over the last best and fairest winner last year in their grand final, been in the top 3 for the last 5 years, and he's just kicked an important goal.
Handy break now for the Bombers. 5-2-2-7. It's stretched out to 13 points. O'Donnell's goal. Rashudo from Wren to Anderson. Ducks his head. Gets a free kick. Free kick came just before the head went down. Anderson sweeps it out wide. Hall, who's been well shaded by Watson, who's played a wonderful first quarter, goes out wide. And Maynard there with Manton. Now Watson calling for some assistance here. Doctor was out to him earlier, and he could be in a bit of trouble. Now he's called O'Donnell back onto Hall. Dipper.
From down here, Watson wants to come off. It looks like he got a knee in the back early on in the quarter.
Thanks for that. Maynard to Visca. Anderson, Chris Danaher's getting ready to come on. Rashudo paved the way for Anderson. Kicks a beauty to Smart. Good football, Rashudo. Now Watson caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Now he's coming off, and Danaher about to come on. Smart will kick from outside 50. It'll take a very good kick. Leans back on it. It's right there to the square. Modra's fly. Well done by Fletcher. Punched away by the Bombers. Out of play. 5-2-2-7. Essendon leading early in the second quarter.
Well, Watson coming off is a little bit disappointing for Essendon because he has done a very good job on Tony Hall, but Chris Danaher is a very, very solid player, a close checking player, and with Hall's confidence down at the moment, and Hall's not a quick player, he relies on his marking.
Well, Manton over the top there of Nigel Smart. Nigel Smart looking towards the umpire because Manton, it could have been deemed as grabbing hold of his jumper there as they went for the ruck contest. There's Smart again. That's young Stevenson in the background. He's done a pretty good job on Nigel Smart. Opportunity for Calthorpe. Little kick there by Liptak. Wiedemann couldn't get clear. Harvey tackled but got his foot to the ball. He's kicked back near the centre of the ground. Anderson quickly. Mark taken by Wanganeen. Good vision by Wanganeen. Switches play to the members' side of the ground where Ola Renshaw has taken the mark. He is at right half back for Essendon, about 75 metres from the Crows' goal. Now he kicks it back near the centre of the ground. Marking contest. Wren couldn't take it. Manton missed it. Mercury was in there. So was Cockatoo Collins. McGuinness. Cockatoo Collins just putting a little bit too much pressure on there and gave McGuinness a little touch in the back. Probably Tony made it a little bit worse than what it really was. But McGuinness has the free kick.
You see Cockatoo Collins, yeah, just a little slight tap in the back. I'd like to see McDermott on the ball because he helps the likes of McGuinness with his strength. Boys like young Hart at the moment, just not quite physical enough to give assistance.
McGuinness centering kick. Liptak couldn't take it off the hands. Wren was there. The give out by Pittman was okay to Smart. Underneath it was Maynard. As Brown getting ready to come on for Adelaide. Not sure who'll come off at this stage. Played very well against Collingwood.
And Jarman also coming on, so it looks like a double change for the Adelaide Crows with Brown and Jarman both warming up on the boundary line.
Well, it's an important moment for them at 5-2-2-7. They really need the next goal. Hall falls over and then almost gives it away. Anderson had to trap it against the odds. No free kick. Wiedemann tries to barge through. Smart 50 metres. Wheels around. Then centres it with a high one. Mondra uses his body with Fletcher. They both go together and out of play. You get the feeling Adelaide needs the next goal. They're attacking, but they trail by 13 points, and the double play about to come up. Jarman, who had to wait forever, it seemed, against Collingwood in the semi-final, came on in the last minute of the third quarter on that occasion. Hall at the back, still with Hall. Liptak was running past, he couldn't give it to him. Anderson's hip and shoulder was very strong on Mercury. Wanganeen runs it out of play, Lee with him, and it's a ball in about 55 metres away from Adelaide's goal. Chris Danaher copping a hard one.
And we have a look now at Greg Anderson, pretty solid there, but Chris Danaher looks as though he's collected his thoughts pretty quickly. Boundary throw in, 50 metres from the Crows' goal. Smart, Calthorpe, he's been quite active. Little kick by Calthorpe, goes out near the wing. Mercury overruns it. Bickley held when he didn't have the football, maybe a little high, and the umpire decides it's a free kick to Mark Bickley. Now Bickley's just forward of centre wing, kicks it inside 50 metres. Modra went a little bit too early. McGuinness off the ground. Scott Lee kicks the goal. McGuinness's little kick was into the path of Scott Lee, and he got that much-needed goal for the Crows. That's their third, and they trail now by just 7 points.
And Wiedemann is coming off, and Jarman has come on for the Adelaide Crows. We see Bickley kick this ball. I thought that Modra might have got a little shove in the back here. Got pushed under the ball there. McGuinness sweeping on it like a true rover. Got his boot to it, and we see Lee kicking it off the ground.
Adelaide have kicked 3-7, Essendon 5-2. Leading goal scorer on the ground is Salmon. He's the only one that's kicked more than one. Mercedes, Somerville, going nowhere. McGuinness, the pressure by the Crows at the centre bounce was good. Kick towards half forward, punched away by the Essendon defence. Mercedes goes back to Doolan. Doolan this time has a good look, kicks it forward. Manton being held.
And in that double change, Liptak is off and Brown is on.
And we see Wiedemann having a little chat with coach Graham Corns. The kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Taken by Mercury, a magnificent handball, and Buick runs into an open goal and gets his second. Well, I would have said maybe that Mark Mercury a little quiet, but by gee, that was one of the slickest handballs we've seen for the night.
And the thing I liked about Darren Buick then is that when he ran into the open goal, he just kicked the ball. We see Manton kicking the ball up there now. The tap line came from Salmon. Tremendous hands and great vision there by Mercury getting across to Buick. But as he runs into goal there, he just kicks the ball nicely through the goals. Too many players kick the ball out of the ground. Bit of lair rising when they do that. I reckon that I'd really like to see a player when he's going to kick an easy goal, just kicks the easy goal.
Tregenza and Olorenshaw at it, 6-2-3-7. Not only an easy goal, it was a drop kick, KB. Under no pressure. Anderson concedes some ground. McDermott punches it forward. Wanganeen, Rashudo with him. Two of the young lions in the AFL out of play. The Brownlow medalist. What a player he is. Played a lot of footy for a 20-year-old, a premiership at Port Adelaide before he came here, and so's this man played a bit of footy.
Timmy Watson there started his league career on this very ground back in 1977 against Richmond. Went 15 years and 305 days.
Harvey, Tregenza tries to take it. Jarman's first touch. Tried to get it through to Tregenza, missed the mark. Olorenshaw to Cockatoo Collins, who'll run away from nearly anybody. Lee tries to go with him, puts enough pressure on him. Still Cockatoo Collins. Lee running in towards the boundary. Cockatoo Collins then comes inside. Not a bad kick in the circumstances. Salmon, no, couldn't quite get there. Maynard held his ground. Buick good. Bickley couldn't quite get it away. Buick looks for a free kick. McDermott under pressure. Thumps it back towards the centre square. Rashudo's there. Mercedes puts some pressure on Anderson. Rashudo tries to get a handball away to Jarman. He does to Visca. Visca runs through centre. Kick off balance. Smart in the front spot. Stevenson with him. Smart applies a tackle. It ricochets away from Brown. Chris Danaher goes towards the boundary line. Smart, Brown go with him. Adelaide got a couple of numbers there. Doolan chips in. One-handed. Clever. Kick back towards centre wing. Visca attacks at the Jarman. Jarman normally very, very good with his hands and eyes. Goes up to Modra in the front spot. Where's the backup? Oh, Hall couldn't turn quickly at all. He's struggling tonight. And O'Donnell takes it away. It's a big play for Essendon at this stage. Up to centre wing.
Gee, there's some terrific footy being played. Harvey's little handball. Cockatoo Collins under pressure from Ben Hart. Gets it back near Olorenshaw. Visca grabbed hold of Ricky Olorenshaw. And the Essendon player will take the free kick. He didn't have the football. Olorenshaw, we'll all remember the first quarter he played in the grand final last year in September. Set it up for the Bombers. He runs away. The minding of the mark wasn't all that good. The kick from mid-air. Harvey goes back to Buick. Buick sizes it up off the left foot. Brilliant kick. The lead was very good by Salmon, but by gee, the lead's made better when the pass is like that. Salmon goes to a vacant goal square. It's still in play. Maynard gathers, goes for the boundary line, And in the finish, not a bad play there by Rodney Maynard. I think he may have been awarded a free kick. He was grabbed by the leg by the Essendon player Manton, and it goes back to Maynard, and he kicks it out short where Bickley takes it. Back to Maynard, in trouble. Good hands, over the top, Jamieson. Jamieson from centre-half back, a thumping kick in towards the centre, but a good mark taken by Doolan. It was a wobbly punt kick, and Ben Doolan did it well in the finish.
Yes, he didn't give his forwards much chance, Jamieson, in the end. Mistimed it. Doolan's high ball back to the 50-metre line. Pittman works into the front spot. Somerville had a couple of cracks at it. Jamieson rides off McDermott cleverly. Goes again long and high. Smart needing to take a mark or two at centre-half forward. Doolan read it best to Masidi. Essendon gathering confidence. Masidi to Manton. Loose man created. Simons is on surely. Didn't see him. Goes high and long. Salmon, Pittman. Salmon in the front spot. Wren tries to trap it. Cockatoo Collins is there. A loose ball, an important ball, particularly for Adelaide. Harvey over the top. Gee, why didn't Manton go on to Simons there? He could have just run him and kicked an easy one.
Well, obviously you didn't see him, but kicking the ball along anyway to Salmon in front at 6'10" is not such bad play.
6'2", 3'7", Visca missed it. Looked very tight a moment ago when he stood the mark. McDermott stops, props, does it very well. Goes out to half-back. Rashudo uses his body against Masidi. Couldn't quite hold the mark. Masidi and Manton together. Ola Renshaw, well done by Tregenza. He's got to keep his eye on it now under pressure. Gets away, high ball back into the centre square. Smart there with the Stevenson. He's done a fair job. Doolan getting some touches. Brown goes with him. Smart's little toe poke. Didn't go far. Again off the ground by Smart. Chance for Brown. Doolan's in trouble behind play. Looks like he's injured himself. Brown centering kick. Hall hasn't had a sniff tonight. There's McCurry. Going to ground was Maynard. Now Hall with a chance. Chris Danaher held up. And where's Doolan? Is he up and about?
In a bit of trouble behind play with the trainers.
Diving on top of the ball there. Looks like he ran smack bang into Stevenson's knee there. His teammate's knee. And we see Manton's off to the Bombers. And young Hurd is back on.
And Harvey looks as though he's been shifted too up into the forward line. So we've got to pick up who's down there at centre-half back.
Rouvre's warming up in the boundary line for the Crows.
A real bunch of players at left half forward for Adelaide.
The problem for the Crows at the moment, they've got no crumb getters on their forward line, no small players whatsoever. Their forward line is as slow as treacle at the moment. Liptak hasn't had a kick. We've had Wiedemann off the ground. We've got Lee down there and also Jarman now. They're lacking a quick player.
Well, let's see what they can do in the remaining 8.5 minutes of this second term. Chris Danaher kicks it back near the wing, and the mark is taken by Ola Renshaw. He gets onto that favoured left foot, runs on and kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. No mark taken. Run through by Rashudo, couldn't control it. Very critical because Simons caught. Buick held him at the football, and he played that so well. He obviously could sense that he was going to be tackled if he collected the footy. And Darren Buick has it. His kick into the pocket, a good lead. Gee, that kicking is perfect by Buick. Pinpoint accuracy from 40 metres, and Salmon's got it 40 metres out on a difficult angle.
But at ground level, you've got the likes of Buick on the forward line, Cheek, Cockatoo, Collins. You see Salmon on that lead there. He's a leading full forward, even though he's 6'10", and he's very, very quick. But they're ground level players on the forward line with Ola Renshaw and McCurry. Calthorpe's down there. He's doing a great tagging job on Tony McGuinness. I think he needs more support on the ball at the moment, and that's where Essendon is winning this game now at ground level.
Well, Salmon going for his third goal. Not a bad looking kick. Very close. It's a behind. Kevin Sheedy. Getting a good look there at proceedings. The kick in by Jamieson is short. The mark is taken by Ben Hart.
Touches it once. Then to centre wing. No Adelaide player there at all. Just not working as well. Somerville. Threw it away. Free kick to Adelaide. To Smart. And a big turnaround this because Essendon had some numbers there and were away. Hurd had his touch too, and that would have been handy if he'd got his hands on the footy because he's been out of sorts. Chris Danaher at the back, this Adelaide forward line, really struggling to get the football. McCurry gets a free kick. No, doesn't. Brian Sheehan put the whistle up close and then decided not to blow it.
I love the way players just jump on top of their opponent, hold their hand in the air looking for the free kick. What about the tackle? He just jumped on top of the Essendon player, Andrew Jarman then.
Harvey off for Delaney. Teenager on, Wren, who hasn't had a big effect as yet. Jarman over the top of the football. Now Anderson, who's had a quiet spell after a good start. Free kick to Essendon. Just a bit high Rashuto on Mercury, whose handball to Buick was a highlight of the game. Now Doolan, who cocked a hard one in the head about 3 minutes ago. Oh, gee, how far? Too far. Well, he still might be suffering from that.
He could be, but Maynard's off and Rouvre's on for the Adelaide Crows.
McGuinness is thumping one. Smart against the flow, gets a push in the back, play on call. Smart back to Brown, who could normally kick a goal. A high ball. Fletcher's in the front spot. Modra tries to wrestle. Free kick to Fletcher. Gets Modra.
Now Modra might be a bit unlucky here, got caught around the neck and thrown to the ground. You see Graham Corns probably looking to see what happened there.
Ola Renshaw on the lead, tries a half volley. Has it taken off him by Tony Hall. Hall deep in the pocket, centering kick, not a Crow player there. Fletcher went to ground, Mercury gave it away. Brown's tackle okay, Wanganeen to butter up and come out towards half back, where Rouvre has just come on, takes a diving mark.
Good effort by Paul Rouvre, picking up the tempo of the game very early. He's asked to play on, the kick in towards full forward. No mark taken. Fletcher punches it away. Jarman's had an impact. Grabbed by the leg, was he?
This is most unlike Adelaide's style of play. Their forward line is very, very crowded. Full marks to Essendon tonight because they've really stopped the running game of the Crows players. They love to run down the ground in numbers and rebound the football, chip it in short, then take the ball down to that forward line quickly to Modra. They did it very, very early in that first quarter, but since then the Bombers have really closed them down.
Well, the free kick went against Andrew Jarman. Obviously, the umpire thought he had plenty of time to get rid of it, and it went to Mercury. His kick went out near the wing, and it's been forced over for a boundary throw-in.
Brett Chalmers is coming on the ground as we see Tony Hall coming off. So that forward line certainly not working tonight. Neither is the marking type players or their crumb getters, and Graham Corns has made 4 changes on that forward line this quarter.
10 scoring shots to 9. Crows 3-7. Essendon 6-3. Ola Renshaw and McGuinness. Football in there somewhere, and the umpire will bounce it once again.
Inside the last 5 minutes of this first half, Tony Hall, who went off at half-time in the semi-final, but under very different circumstances after he turned 3 Collingwood players inside out tonight, hasn't had a shot at goal. Free kick to Essendon, they're getting a few of them at the moment.
I think Ben Doolan will come off too in a moment, Bruce, and Mark Harvey will come back onto the ground. Doolan's not quite right since that knee in the head from his teammate in Stevenson.
Cowthorpe's kick to centre wing, Rouvre in the front spot, Simon's off the pack. Wobbles one towards Bickley. Didn't take a Buick surely in the back that time against Bickley.
And Doolan's off.
Still a bit groggy. Bickley back to centre wing. Smart at the back, front spot Somerville. Good give by Brown to Lee. Lee off, and it robbed off him by Massini. Thieved it from him brilliantly. Good mark, McDermott. Running back. Would feel that an Essendon player was going to come in strongly, and they did, but he held his ground. He's been suffering with the knee. See it heavily bandaged. Had to undergo a fitness test this week to play. High ball by the captain, not a lot of penetration. Chalmers was there, but front spot's going to be paid against Somerville. To Chalmers, first hand on it.
That's ridiculous.
He was recruited by Richmond and, of course, went across to Collingwood, controversially, and back to the Adelaide Crows.
To Anderson, Anderson's kick. Oh, gee, Mercury, bad mistake. Wanganeen, fortunately for Essendon, to take it away with a bounce and a run.
And what about the surety of Gavin Wanganeen? Ola Renshaw took the mark. There's Harvey back in that key defensive post. His kick smothered off the boot. Anderson collects it in towards half forward. The mark taken by Wren. And this big fellow will kick the distance. Wouldn't be surprised if he kicks a goal either.
I'm a great rap for Wren. I think he's the best young ruckman to come into the game since Len Thompson. He reminds me a lot of Len Thompson, and played 300 games, won the Brownlow medal, won the Copeland Trophy 4 or 5 times. I think Wren has got all the attributes of a Len Thompson. Great agility on the ground, pace for a big man, he's got sure hands, and he's also a very good kick.
Well, here goes Sean Wren, looking for the distance. It's a shot. Out of bounds on the full, free kick to Essendon.
It might have been a shocker, but he is a good kick. For a guy that's about 6'8", he's got a natural kicking style.
Chris Danaher to kick it back for the Bombers. Out towards half-back, taken by Ola Renshaw. Tackle there by Rouvre, going nowhere. Umpire will call for a bounce. 3-7 plays, 6-3. And we've got 2 minutes left in the first half of this grand final of the Foster's Cup. Andrew Jarman tackled. Ball spills for McGuinness. Didn't have the football according to the umpire. So Andrew Jarman will take the free kick. Hasn't been on all that long. 5 possessions. Kick to Modra. Well done. Good lead, good kick. And Modra has the chance to get his second goal. He's kicked 1 goal, 3 so far. And the 3 behinds that he's kicked could all easily have been goals.
Well, it was a beautifully weighted kick there by Jarman and Modra out in front. When the Crows have played well, as we've known the Crows, they've always had McDermott on the ball and Jarman on the ball, feeding the ball out. Tonight, one's on the bench, one's in defence.
Modra shoots for goal, and he puts it through. So Tony Modric eventually gets his second goal, and the Crows fans are pretty happy about that. They draw back to within 8 points of Essendon close to half-time.
It's incredible they're that close to the Bombers in actual fact, because Essendon's been by far the better side. Modra out in front. This will lift his confidence because he's missed 4 set shots tonight. He's played very well, Modra, for the opportunity he's had.
What a difference a goal would make here to either team just before half-time. 4-7, 6-3. Wren out of the centre, off the ground. Wanganeen getting back. He's starting to grow in confidence as this game goes on, as he so often does. Kilpatrick his target. Bad mistake. Anderson takes advantage of it. Back to the 50-metre line. Modra out in front. Good take by Modra. Round the body, bouncing ball across the face of goal. Harvey concedes a behind. And Adelaide are up to 4-8 to 6-3. What's the situation with Doolan, Dipper?
Unfortunately for Ben, Doolan caught one right between the eyes and he's very groggy, but the doctor did say if needed he'll be back on the ground.
And what about Watson? Any report on him, Dipper?
He's still got a very bad back and he can come back on the ground later on if needed.
O'Donnell to centre wing. Somerville just through his fingers. Wren cleverly. Somerville with him. Then pushes it forward inside the last 40 seconds in this first half. And Anderson runs it over and it'll be a boundary throw in. Terrific crowd, great night. It's been an entertaining opening half. It's been tight, tense. Essendon just on top for most of it, but Adelaide very, very close. Rashuto, who started well and has been quiet in this quarter. High ball doesn't go very far. Mercuri kept his eyes on it with Cockatoo Collins. Masiti sweeps a handball out wide to O'Donnell. Can Essendon conjure up a late goal? Hurd, who's been as quiet as Tony Hall, 2 of the stars we thought. Bickley run down by Delaney, gets a free kick. And Bickley, who's had the big job on Buick. They've both had an impact on the game. Buick's been a dangerous forward. Bickley's kicked back into the centre square. Pittman and Wren, the 2 big men for Adelaide. Tregenza quickly forward to half forward. But the siren sounds, and at half-time, it's Essendon leading 6-3 to 4-8. So in that quarter, the Bombers kicked 2-1, and that's exactly what Adelaide finished up with. 39 to 32. Smart, reasonable at centre half forward. Buick, we saw a moment ago, has been very, very good. Wanganeen, Lee's had the job on him. Wanganeen's been drifting across half back in the back pocket. Modra's had a lot of touches and kicked 2-3. And at half time, Essendon leads in the final by 7 points.
Who's doing it, Bruce or? Sandy hosting?
Scotty.
Yes, is that you, Sandy?
Sandy here. This thing's come out.
You there, Sandy?
He's just coming with you, Scotty.
Hang on.
Hello, Scotty.
Yes, Sandy?
Oh, it's Jared.
I can't hear you.
It's Jared Healy.
Yes, Jared?
How you going?
Not bad, mate.
It's all right. You ready to go?
Hear me, Scotty?
Yes, Sandy.
Righto, go, mate. What do you got?
We'll go through a list of names.
Yep.
Stewie Lowe. Scott Wind.
Wind.
Gareth John.
Hang on. Yep.
Derek Kickett.
Yep.
Craig Lambert.
Yep.
Nathan Buckley.
Righto.
Laurie Keane.
Laurie Keane?
Yeah, made a comeback today. He's going to prove everyone wrong. Right. And Peter Dacos. He's going to have his name on the grandstand at Collingwood.
Oh.
In the old pocket where he used to kick all the goals.
Stuart Lowe we start with.
Yeah, Stuart Lowe we start with.
Scotty, I want to throw you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names.
We'll go like buggery.
8 names one at a time.
Okay.
Righto. And keep punching in the end, won't you?
Keep punching, yes, Sandy.
Donnie, you can hear me, mate?
And then follows on to that bit.
Beg your pardon?
That bit with orange you'll write down.
Can they hear me?
It starts with a smother from
Second quarter scoreboard showing just how tight this grand final is. Each team booting 2-1. At half-time, the Bombers 6-3-39. 7-point leaders over Adelaide, 4-8-32. As we welcome Scott Palmer to our telecast. Scotty, I want to do things a little differently tonight. I want to throw a number of names at you, one at a time. First up, Stuart Lowe.
Has got a groin injury, Sandy. Will miss a couple of games at the start of the season. It'll be rest and recuperation from now on.
Scott Wine.
Did play in the seconds today for Footscray. Pulled up okay after his knee, and the coach said our new captain will play next week.
Let's stay with the big men. Gareth John.
Gareth John played wonderfully well for North Melbourne against his old club, the Swans, today, and may rue the day that the Swans let him go.
Surprise draft pick, Derek Kickett.
Played in the twos for the Swans today, kicked a nice goal, a couple of nice hand passes. Barassi, fantastic, he said.
On the subject of the draft, Craig Lambert.
Craig Lambert played in the Bears' 55-point win over the Southport team, did well, and Robbie Wall said, we'll be in our first team.
Collingwood recruit, Nathan Buckley.
Has come from 25-1 to 14-1 for the Brownlow medal. A wonderful game against Melbourne and a big win by the Collingwood team today.
Now here's one we've plucked from the past, Scotty. Laurie Keane.
Made a sensational comeback for Subiaco reserves today in Perth. Said, I want to prove them wrong.
And Peter Dacos.
Peter Dacos. Well, Collingwood have announced today that his name's going up on the grandstand at Victoria Park. It's going to be on the Sherrin stand in the famous wing, the famous pocket where he used to kick all those miraculous goals, Sandy.
And Scotty, you've only got one thing left to say to us.
Keep on punching, mate.
We certainly shall. We'll take a break more shortly.
Australia's newest swimming sensation, Rebecca Brown, joins Bruce McAvaney on Sports World tomorrow morning.
Welcome back to Waverley Park, a big day of sport, of course, tomorrow on 7 with the Sports World Footy Panel debuting for the year, and following that, also debuting for the year, our new program, I'm Rex Hunt and You're Not. And Big Dipper, our roving boundary rider, is in fact roving the grandstands at the moment. I believe he's found the one and only Rex in the 3AW studios. Dipper?
G'day, Rex. Rexy. Hello, Rex. Well, I want to know about tomorrow's show. Tell us about tomorrow's show.
Well, we just happen to be talking to 500,000 people here on 3AW, but if I can just ask our people to just...
What is going on here? Well, forget about the radio. We want to know about Rex Hunt's new TV show.
Well, I'm doing Sports World with the people in the morning from 11 till midday, and then at 12 o'clock it's I'm Rex Hunt and You're Not, Dipper, and you're going to have to tune in to find out, because we got some surprises. We've got some blasts from the past, mate, like you wouldn't believe.
Thank you very much. What can I say?
Well, don't say that or I'll sue you. That's mine. Thank you very much. I'm Rex Hunt.
And You're Not. So looking forward to seeing that.
Is it all right if I go back with my radio commentary?
Sorry, 3AW.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. And, of course, let's get back to this game, Jared. Tight, tense, tough, dour struggle in the first half. First of all, how do you compare the two forward lines?
Well, I think they're going quite similarly, really. There's not many winners for either side. Modra's doing reasonably well up forward for the Crows, but not converting. Salmon going all right with Buick. As we see a couple of highlights from the first quarter. Liptak getting the ball. A floating handball. Not much pressure here from the Bombers. Doolan got sucked in. But Tregenza, who's struggling a little bit, getting beaten on the wing by Ola Renshaw, finally kicks a good goal. His kicking has let him down to date, though.
Of course, speaking of the forward lines, Tony Hall has had a problem. Now, you're a physiotherapist. What is his problem?
Well, we know he tore his groin last week. It begs the question, is he really fit? As we just have a look at this other highlight here. A nice dummy there from Jamison, but a fantastic smother from you-know-who. You can't say no, CC. Gets it down there to Buick. And his pace has been electrifying and has been one of the major differences between the two sides.
Yes, in fact, having a look at our highlights, the Buick blistering speed in that forward line. He's kicked a couple of goals. We've seen one. We'll have another look at one now as Manton, who's interchanged across that half forward line with Hurd, brings it down into the zone now.
What a
delightful hand pass.
Yes, and that ball originated from Doolan, and he has been a terrific player to date. And also a mention to Manton, probably the player of the series, one of the finds of the series anyhow.
At this stage, who's going to win it?
Well, even Steven. The Crows aren't out of it. The Crows will get back.
Thank you very much. We'll take a break. More shortly. Both sides back out on the ground here at Waverley. Now boundary rider is back in his rightful spot. Dippy, you know what finals football is all about. Is it sorting out some of the players here tonight?
They certainly are, Sandy, and the Crows, Neil, are starting to find out what finals football is all about, buddy.
That's true, Deborah, but it's going to hold them in very good stead for the year to come. Great experience. Essendon are past masters at getting that extra couple of players back in defence to crowd it up, which they're doing very, very well. Also, it's very interesting to note the way Somerville is playing Wren and not allowing him to dictate and plan his defensive action and his back play. Somerville's taking him wide, which is preventing Wren from getting into the game. They're keeping their forward line very open, Essendon. They're playing great footy, and of course Buick, without doubt, is the most damaging player on the ground in the forward area.
Now, it sounds like you're starting to give up here, Neil.
I'm not giving up at all because we're fighting back. Didn't you see the signs?
You
we're right back in this.
You hope, Sandy.
No, they are. When Neil gets that stare, I know they are. Let's have a look at some individual performers. Firstly, Gary O'Donnell, Jared.
Performance by O'Donnell, getting plenty of possessions, doing quite well on Ben Hart in the middle of the ground. And that's where Essendon really are dominating throughout the centre. Greg Anderson, perhaps one of the Crows' only winners. He's doing quite well on the wing against Kilpatrick, but still has plenty of room for improvement. Rick Olorenshaw, having a very good half of football and a good game to date, has had the better of Tregenza. And there's Tregenza, you can see though, 10 possessions. Kicked a pretty good goal on the run. He still needs to improve that kicking.
Okay, just about set to go for the second half. Here's Bruce.
4-8 to 6-3 here at half-time. Stage now set for a big second half. Delaney on Anderson, Cockatoo Collins on interchange for Essendon. Somerville and Wren. Neil Curley pointing out the job Somerville's done early. Masiti from the centre. Long ball. Kickett's on the ground for the first time. Visca gets a free kick. Cockatoo Collins off and coming on Kickett. Goes out wide to Jamison, who had Hurd taken off him in the first quarter. Jamison with run and rebound up towards half forward. Smart with a big flight, couldn't quite take it. Mercury caught by Jarman, looked for a free kick. Wanganeen close to the ground, brilliant to Harvey, who sweeps it out wide to Masiti, who's starting to grow as this game gets along. Manton held on to. No free kick over the top. Here's Dale Kickett's first touch. Round the body, up towards full forward. Buick clever, well played at the back by Bickley. They've had a terrific duel. Rouvray sweeps it out wide. Somerville should take it, and he does comfortably at centre wing.
Well done, Peter Somerville. Stamping his authority on the game. Neil Curley mentioning at half-time how the battle is between he and Wren. Manton, sweeping hand pass. Simons nearly gathered the football. Underneath all that is Mark Visca, the Adelaide Crows half-back, and the umpire will call for a bounce at centre-half forward for Essendon.
James Hurd there just diving on top of the pack there, yet to have a touch, yet to have a possession in this game.
Well, he effected a tackle there on big Sean Wren, which has forced the umpire to repeat the performance and bounce once again, only a matter of metres from the previous one. And in goes Somerville with a bit of body strength. Hurd couldn't quite control it. Very much out of sorts. Calthorpe and Simons. Back to Masiti. Masiti near the centre. Kicks it out towards the pocket, but well done by Rouvray getting out in front of Salmon and plugging a bit of a gap there, which allowed him to take the chest mark. He kicks it straight across the half-back area, and really what you'd call ineffective. Mark Rasciuto was the player that was calling for it, but that kick missed the target. And there's Tony Hall and Rodney Maynard on the bench for the Adelaide side. We'll have a boundary throw in about 65 metres around from the Essendon goal. Big Sean Wren and Peter Somerville. Terrific battle. Somerville wins this one. Couldn't quite get his foot to it. Calthorpe underneath. Kicked off the ground there by Ben Hart. He goes after it again. O'Donnell tries to get it back to Masiti. Masiti somehow found some space for himself. Thumped it in towards full forward. Salmon couldn't quite take the mark. Buick again off the ground. Ineffective. Visca has it. Collects the footy and kicks it wide. Very, very wide. A wobbly old punt kick out in front of Tregenza and Olorenshaw, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Down there on the bench. Jay Cockatoo Collins, Timmy Watson, who tonight equals Langford's record of playing in the most number of night games, and Ben Doolan also on the bench. Essendon 6 head-outs to Adelaide's 16.
Hurd does the ruck work this time with Wren. Free kick to Hurd. Gee, that hurts a ruckman when The substitute gets a free kick. His first kick tonight. Salmon the target at the back. McDermott in between. Well played, Manton. Very well played, Manton. He's got a chance to goal around the body. Gives it a big hook in the end. And a behind to Essendon. Manton kicked a goal early in the match at this end, and Essendon up to 6-4 to 4-8. Liptak getting ready to come on.
Liptak was the Crows' second best goal scorer last year, but by gee was a long, long way behind Tony Modra.
Well, he was 101 goals behind because he kicked 28 and Tony kicked 129.
Chalmers a man off. Gee, the kick in by McDermott, taken very easily by Salmon. Salmon chips away short to centre half forward. Hurd, oh, terrific mark. And you saw him clutch it afterwards and say, gee, this is what it feels like and I love it. Watch out he doesn't turn himself around in the second half. He's capable of kicking a heap of goals.
Brett Chalmers on the telephone there to Graham Corns.
James Hurd from centre half forward. Hits the post.
Just speaking about Liptak before, he hasn't had a very good game, but the Crows are a bit lucky to have him this year. He wanted to give up football and continue his medical studies. He's doing his 5th year, but they've talked him into doing his studies and playing for the Crows as well.
9 points the margin here. Wren the flyer. Anderson. The ball didn't quite sit for him. She was tackled very hard. Mercuri's kick off the ground. Essendon with the numbers at centre wing. Hurd just suddenly starting to get into the game. Stops, gets around Ben Hart, chips it cleverly to Kickett. Oh, went without it, Kickett. Tackle on him was okay by Visca. Towards the boundary line. Harvey's had a reasonably quiet night. Visca under pressure. Caught by Harvey and then by Kickett. And the umpire coming in to bounce it at centre wing. The Adelaide hierarchy, John Halbert to the left and Graham Corns. Both Coach Glenelg over the years. Halbert, of course, the great Sturt player.
Interesting where Kevin Shetty plays Dale Kickett this year. He started his career at Fitzroy, kicked 5 goals in his first night game here, then went to the West Coast Eagles and struggled. And last year at Claremont, absolutely starred across half-back, playing as a half-back flanker. Jared Neesham put him there. Be interesting to see if Shetty plays with half-back this year.
Goals still hard to get in this match. It's 6-5 to 4-8. Essendon advancing by about 15 metres for a throw-in.
Cal Thorpe in the picture there with Tony McGuinness. 9 points is the advantage for Essendon. 15.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Jamison doing the ruck work with Hurd. Ben Hart, not really an effective kick. Anderson, he kicks it quickly. High, in towards the centre of the ground. Smart couldn't take the mark. Wanganeen gets back. Just mishandled it a little bit. Away for Joe Mercedes, and his vision was pretty good. The pass meant for O'Donnell, hit him on the chest. In turn goes to Calthorpe on centre wing. Sweeping hand pass, finds Kilpatrick. He goes long to the 50-metre line. Marking contest, the ball at the back, taken by Visca. Tidies up very nicely. Jarman in the centre. His kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Back goes Kilpatrick. Dispossesses Nigel Smart. Brown is all hemmed in there by Mark Mercury. And the umpire will be forced to bounce about 65, 70 metres from the Crows' goal. Haven't really had a chance to score so far in this third quarter, the Adelaide side. Ball knocked down by Stevenson, taken by Smart, Mercury and Brown. Good contest there. It was Liptak actually at the bottom of that pack. And the umpire forced to bounce once again. The Bomber supporters fairly happy with the situation at the moment, but there's still not much in this game. Just a little bit of break from one side could mean the difference. O'Donnell is at centre half back. He's caught, run down. Lucky not to be penalised. The ball spills free. Wanganeen caught, didn't have the football, a little too high, indicates the umpire, and Wanganeen takes the free kick. The Bombers temporarily out of trouble.
Goes to centre wing. Attacking at Rouvray. Towards the boundary line, ridden into the ground by Hurd. No free kick. Throw in. Free kicks in the first half, 13. Essendon to 11. Kevin Sheedy. Kids there, have a look at them. Getting their message across. Supporting Dad and his team. Seen some great games over the years. Hurd from centre wing. Buick and Bickley. Bickley running it out. It's a real stalemate here, isn't it? It's
just like that contest there of Bickley playing on Buick. Buick's had the better of him, of course, but Bickley, a most underrated player, He's been runner-up in their best and fairest the last 2 years. He's been made deputy vice-captain this year. But you're right, it's a stalemate at the moment.
Wren, McDermott, high tackle on Kickett. Kickett centering ball, looking for Buick and Harvey. Bickley at the back, now Harvey caught, can't get rid of it. Buick went for an airy. Olorenshaw, left footer, goes to ground. Jarman over the top, looks for a free kick. Bickley round his body, up to half-back. Tregenza with the run. Hart trying to support him. Tregenza turns and twists, gets around Manton. Kicks it up towards half-forward. Rasciuto there, quiet after a good start. Lip tack on, not clever at all.
That's something you see a lot of players do. They try and tap the ball on. It looks good if it comes off, but it's better to take the ball in the hand and then feed off the hand pass.
Well, no matter what you say about Simon Tregenza, he gets a lot of the football, doesn't he? He's had 11 possessions. Lip tack to McDermott. McDermott's kicking towards centre half forward. Wren, ball spills. Wanganeen takes it from Mercury. Wanganeen, little kick in towards the centre. Too high for Kickett. Visca there, gathered by Simons. Can't get clear. McDermott came in to help out. The hand pass smothered by Manton. Simons and Kickett. Ball rebounds. Tregenza again. Just gets his foot to the ball. McDermott, a little too high for the captain. Back to Andrew Jarman. A little kick. Goes wide to the wing. The big fellow, Wren. Ball rebounds, but he's got plenty of time to gather his thoughts. Gives the hand pass away to Rasciuto. Rasciuto's kick towards half forward. The mark is taken by Nigel Smart. 51 metres from the Crows' goal. The leader's on. Modra out in front. Fletcher is there. Ball goes back. Mercury, lip tag. Hand pass. Brown should goal. And does. Very, very important goal there. Kicked by David Brown for the Crows. And the difference in this game is only marginal. 3 points in favour of the Bombers.
Well, he really struggled in the first half. Started on the bench. Hasn't done a great deal, but he can kick a goal. You see there the kick. There was a poor kick going down towards Modric. Kicked short, and he was well manned up there. Good hand pass back there, and a great snapshot there by Brown.
5-8, 6-5, 38-41 in the final. Somerville again goes early with Wren. Calthorpe out of the centre, up to half forward. Kickett running with it, takes a brilliant mark.
Does he look fitter, Kevin, Dale Kickett, than he has in his couple of other chances he's had over here?
Well, he might look a bit fitter because he's got the afro haircut cut back a bit this year. Good mark running with the flight of the ball there. Takes a bit of courage to run back like that, particularly with Visca hot on his heels. But he probably is a lot fitter. He's probably more fair dinkum about his football. He wasn't fair dinkum at Fitzroy or at the West Coast Eagles.
Kickett leans back and kicks a goal. The Bombers reply in a hurry. He's going to win it. Kickett's first. 7-5 to 5-8.
Well, he gives a bit of life on the forward line. He's got pace. Last year a sensation at Claremont playing at half-back. Lifted his confidence that he could play league football once more, running with the flight of the ball. And of course, he finished it off, which is the main thing. David Calthorpe to get the ball down there, as we see on the boundary line at the moment, ready to come on, is Chi Cockatoo Collins for the Bombers.
And very important, these centre breaks. So far it's 7 apiece. Essendon lead by 9 points. Andrew Jarman tried to get it to McGuinness. In chips Masidi. In trouble was Olorenshaw. Kicked away by Calthorpe again. Proving to be quite effective. Dale Kickett's tap on. Simons. Ball handling by the Bombers. Brilliant. Buick just that extra yard of pace. And he kicks another goal. Spectacular football by Essendon. 3 goals to Buick. And the Bombers all of a sudden lead by 15 points.
Delaney off for Essendon and Cockatoo Collins on, but this is a blistering pace that we know of Buick. Came down there by Kickett, got it to Simons, who's a real jumping jack, got it across to, look at the speed there, put the ball under his arm, ran his full 15 metres and then absolutely drilled it. And that's something that the Crows haven't been able to do across their half-forward line. They've really lacked that quick player there tonight. You look at their half-forward line, Wiedemann, Liptak, Lee, Hall and Brown all struggled tonight.
8-5-5-8, Wren out of the centre. Game gathering pace now. Rasciuto to full forward. Modra in the front spot. Fletcher thumps it away. The Rasciuto kick had plenty on it. Modra got caught underneath it. 5-9-8-5. And Adelaide has had 5 rush behinds in that total of 9. Delaney coming off, the teenager. And Cockatoo Collins back on. Bombers just in control at the moment. Beautiful kick by Fletcher. Saw Harvey. Harvey swings it wide to Ola Renshaw. Essendon still going hard. Ola Renshaw at half-back, in towards the centre. Big fly came from Hart. Simons' handball to Somerville. Somerville towards full forward. Not a good kick. In fact, Salmon will be pretty disappointed with that. Pittman able to take it at the back. Salmon leading in front of him. Pittman back in towards the centre. Brown, O'Donnell, play on call. The handball by Hurd. Wanganeen and Jarman, still Wanganeen. Wren runs into him, play on call. Hard ball to be won. Mercury gets it out about 30 metres towards the goal. Anderson against the flow, caught by Kickett, who's been important. Cockatoo Collins, high ball round the body. Kickett on and he'll take it. He's having a wonderful couple of minutes. He rode a Visca bump a minute ago, which set it up for Buick. Kicked a goal before that, and he might kick another one here. He's swung it around, this young fellow.
It's amazing how quickly the trend can change.
Simons has been very good with his quick hands around centre-half forward. He's given Essendon those 2 opportunities to goal.
When Brown kicked the goal for Adelaide, you would have thought they were sweeping Essendon aside. Now it's changed the other way.
Missed it. Well, that really would have made it hard for Adelaide at this stage. Plenty of time, but at 8-6 to 5-9, Essendon with a pretty big break. Now Cockatoo Collins was down for a minute. Looks a bit wobbly, but he's back on his feet.
And Ben Hart back in his familiar post on that full-back line, but Essendon go forward again. Ola Renshaw, well done. He's a natural left footer, he's kicked the goal. Rick Ola Renshaw loves to get on the left foot, but did it very nicely off the right side. Kicked Essendon's 9th goal, and they lead now by 21 points.
Lee has just come on the ground for the Adelaide Crows, and Visca has gone off. But this is a good kick there by Ola Renshaw. 17 possessions to Ola Renshaw. Done a terrific job on Tregenza. They've had a good duel, in fact.
Biggest break of the match. Bombers out to 21 points. Their fans are willing them home. Cockatoo with a high one. Wren ran into Tregenza for the moment. McDermott through the centre. Adelaide needing a goal. Modra on a lead. Fletcher with him. Modra trying to get rid of him. Getting back Mercury. And he concedes a behind. Happy to do so. 5-10. What's that, Robbo? How many rushed?
6, but I nearly marked the point down to Mark Mercury then, Bruce.
He couldn't kick a goal, could he, from there? 9-6, 5-10. O'Donnell, arguably the best in the first half. Wiedemann struggling tonight. Buick with him, Bickley. Visca went off a moment ago and Lee came on. Anderson holds it up. And Adelaide having a real problem in scoring goals. 5 so far in this match. There's the Adelaide interchange. Chalmers, Visca and Hall amongst them. Wouldn't they love Tony Hall to come on and take a mark or two? Harvey's quick kick back towards Manton in the front spot. You just get a feeling at the moment that this is the critical time for Adelaide. Manton called to play on, does so to centre half forward. Adelaide with 3 going. Simons on the bottom of it. Tregenza. Ola Renshaw through his legs, off the ground by Lee. McDermott looking for a handball. Tregenza runs smack into Manton. Gets it away courageously to Jarman. To McGuinness, who's had a quiet quarter and a half after starting well. Smart in the box seat. Stevenson with him. Still smart. Still smart. The handball to Liptak. Liptak runs back, concedes some ground, then centres the ball. Modra at the back's got to go high. Push Fletcher out of the way. Bouncing ball. O'Donnell, cool and calm as he so often is, and kicks it to half-back where Cockatoo Collins runs onto it, keeps it in play. Now should run away from Anderson. He'll get a free kick. Anderson hanging on. And things are going very well for Essendon at the moment.
Well, Cockatoo Collins has got the football at left half-back for the Bombers. He runs through the Foster's logo and kicks it up towards half-forward. No mark taken. Back there is Bickley. Ben Hart, perhaps not waiting for the hand pass, then gives it back in towards the centre to McDermott. Away to Jarman really wasn't all that necessary, but and then Andrew Jarman's kick was disappointing because it's been marked at centre half-back by O'Donnell. O'Donnell has been a tremendous player for Essendon. He's collected 21 possessions already and kicked a terrific goal in the first quarter. James Hurd in towards half-forward. Buick bumped off the football. Ola Renshaw, the 235s. Jamison there. for the Crows. Picked up by Dale Kickett. Away to Kelthorpe. Kelthorpe goes for goal. And misses off to the left-hand side.
Graham Corns has put McDermott on the ball, and you might have just noticed in the last couple of minutes, McDermott to Jarman to McGuinness. And that's that on-ball trio that they really need, the Adelaide Crows. Hart now is back in defence. Not a huge success tonight, I don't think, midfield as Wiedemann comes off the ground. The Crows definitely need those strong players there, as Tony Hall also now comes back onto that half-forward line.
Kelthorpe with 15 possessions. His job, tagging Tony McGuinness, who's had 10 possessions, so you'd have to say that Kelthorpe's done his job. Free kick out wide to Tregenza. Handball away to Jamison. Jamison at left half back. Kicks the Crows into their attacking half.
Smart at the back. Free kick going to Adelaide. Front player against the man in the middle, the sandwich. Here's Rashudo from centre wing. Low kick towards Hall. I wonder if he's not stretching out, as you can see, and Harvey knocked it out of play. Tony Hall about 3/4 fit, you'd reckon, going in.
Yes, he looked pretty slow then, Tony Hall. He should have got to that. 7 possessions this quarter also to young Hurd, who's really come back after not having a possession in that first quarter. So he's really lifted for the Bombers. Can Tony Hall do the same thing for the Crows?
Smart used his body pretty cleverly. Stevenson, well, in his condition, Hall's value will be close to the goal and a mark under pressure.
Yes, I'd like to see him just staying in the forward pocket. Let Modry do some leading and Hall one out taking marks, only 10 or 15 metres out.
Somerville uncontested towards the boundary line. Rashudo, a good shepherd by McGuinness. Well taken by Rashudo. Back towards the pocket. Modra and also O'Donnell.
The kick's really no good, Kevin, is it? To hook it into the pocket. When you've got no one to lead, you should bomb it away to the front of the square, surely.
It's just a poor kick then. Around his body, he just wasn't able to control it. As David Parkin is there. Carlton play Adelaide, the opening game of the season at Football Park.
Smart, Modra, Fletcher, chance for Brown, little one, goal. And they get another one. Second for Brown, he's got both in this quarter. And Adelaide keep on hanging in there, which is not a bad sign for them, because Essendon look to be on top, but it's 6-10 to 9-7.
Well, we see behind goal, Smart gets that quick kick. Now, Brown's kicked 2 goals this quarter. He started on the interchange bench, and he's giving them this little crummer in this third quarter. He's that quiet. They call him the ghost in Adelaide because he just never opens his mouth.
15 points is the margin in favour of Essendon. 5.5 minutes left. Salmon on the ball. Kickett tries to get the ball clear. Cockatoo, Collins and Jarman. Ball spills for O'Donnell. O'Donnell from 60 metres. Goes long. Somerville at the back. Can't take the mark. Ben Hart. Manton's a chance. Shot for goal. Glenn Mann, you're a hero! Second goal for that young man there, Glenn Mann. And I think he'd be pretty happy with that performance.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals and he's had 11 possessions, and he's been a very, very mobile player across the half-forward line. This is a very good little snapshot there by Mann. Ben Hart there's been moved off the ball back into defence, where he plays his best football, but Mann tonight has been an extra viable player up there across that half-forward line. About 6'2", he's booted 2 goals.
Back to 21 points the advantage. McDermott kicks the Crows towards half-forward. In front, top effort, the shooter. 50 metres from goal, directly in front.
Only 18 years of age, he was an All-Australian Teal Cup player at 91 and 92. In fact, he was captain of the South Australian Teal Cup side. Got into the side last year, and he's never lost his place.
Well, would have to be a chance. Oh, gee, it's not a bad kick for length, but not for accuracy. Just off to the left-hand side. That's his first score for the evening. 1 behind. The difference is 20 points in favour of Essendon. Brett Chalmers back onto the ground as Dustin Fletcher kicks in towards half-back. Chance there for Brown. He tries to get it to Hall. Intercepted by O'Donnell. Just keeps on working, Gary O'Donnell. Anderson gathers, gets it back to Jarman. Jarman's kick is good. Into the front of the square. Excellent mark taken by Fletcher. He backed himself. Modra just waited a little bit behind. The kick goes wide. Knocked on by Harvey. Draginza just got his right foot to it. Masidi is on the end of that. Now Harvey, and he clears for the Bombers.
Up to the centre, Wren, the player that went off for Chalmers, by the way. Handball by Bickley to McDermott to Jarman. They're working well together. Jarman's kick a beauty, and that's what they wanted. Tony Hall within kicking distance to take a mark.
They look a lot better to me when they've got Jarman in the middle, around the middle of the ground, and McDermott around there as well. Because they've just got terrific hands. They've got great vision, great presence of mind. They can size up a situation, and players seem to feed off them. They feel comfortable. You see Tony Hall there. This lovely kick from Jarman out in front. And Tony Hall, of course, is so courageous. Now, if he can kick this goal, he'll lift his confidence. Only one kick for the game so far. Been a very poor player.
Kicked 3 in the first half against Collingwood when he slightly injured his groin, leans back and misses. So both Rashudo and Hall have had long shots for goal in this quarter and missed it. Remember Modra in that opening term when he had 3 relatively easy shots, and Adelaide at 6-12 to 10-7.
Not near enough steps there by Tony Hall in his lead up to shoot for goal.
Too close to the man on the mark.
Fletcher to bring it back in. He's kicked the ball back in very well tonight.
When you run too close to the man on the mark, you then lift your head because you've got to kick the ball up and over, and you lose accuracy.
Fletcher straight down the centre. Salmon having a run, all big fly at the back by Smart. Cowthorpe just gave it away. Harvey and Simons has been excellent in this quarter, and so's Masidi. He's had more kicks than anyone on the ground. And so has this man Kickett, been a very big player in the third quarter. To Harvey. Harvey at centre wing, now centres the ball. Somerville tries to get rid of the pack. Manton trying to snare it away. Kick it in hard under pressure. Off the ground by Visca, doesn't go all that far. It wasn't Pittman, it was Pittman. Now Simons with a high ball, back towards full forward, setting himself. Anderson will get a free kick. Held his ground really well on that occasion. And let's a former teammate know all about it at viewing.
And they did spend a lot of time in close friendship when they were playing with each other at Essendon too. Still, the play goes on. That should be paid out there to McDermott. He's outnumbered, badly outnumbered. Goes after the football, but Joe Masidi beat him to it. And the umpire forced to bounce. Thought Chris McDermott was a bit stiff that he wasn't paid that mark because 2 or 3 players ran straight at him. Still, the bounce just forward of the centre wing area in Essendon's attacking half, and it's knocked over for a boundary throw in. Graham Corns looking a little concerned. The inaccuracy in the goal shooting for the Crows would be certainly a concern of his. Modra 2 goals 3. And a couple of other misses that could have been converted. Chalmers gets it to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick in towards the centre. The bounce very important. Nigel Smart didn't wait for the bounce. He made something of it. Goes for goal. Modra at the back, but Fletcher did well. Modra recovered very nicely. And Kilpatrick, a bit fortunate I feel there. Modra looks at the umpire. He's accepted everything all clear. Boundary throw in left forward pocket for Adelaide. 6-12, plays 10-7. We've got 2 minutes left, so the Crows certainly would be a chance to score here. Smart and young Stevenson. Smart tries to get it down. Rashudo. Liptak kicked out there by Masidi. Then Stevenson goes for the boundary line. Ola Renshaw probably will let it go. He eventually does, and we'll have another throw-in. 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And the advantage is with Essendon. It's 19 points. The Crows can get a goal here, close to three-quarter time. What a last quarter we're in for. Smart gets it down. And McDermott off to Liptak. Liptak to the square. Modra at the back. Gets around, gives the hand pass away to Brown. He's caught. Tries to get it back. No one home. O'Donnell was there. Working manfully. Little kick. Very good. Not much Cockatoo Collins could do. It goes over for a throw-in.
I don't think he wanted to actually go to Cockatoo Collins. It was a kick for touch for mine. He forced it towards the boundary line. He got the result he was looking for.
Smart goes with Stevenson. Handball by Rashudo. McDermott to Jarman. Jarman a high one. Fletcher's had a great quarter on Modra. Again in the front spot. Modra down. Wanganeen tried to kick it through. Couldn't. Now Kilpatrick is a little bit like Buick when he's on the run. And just to the boundary line and out of play. 10-7 to 6-12. Essendon leading against the Adelaide Crows. Crows in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. The Bombers defending the title. Won the day final as well. after coming from nowhere against Adelaide at half-time in the preliminary final. They trailed by 42 points on that occasion. Bickley still playing it in front, left-hand handball, Cockatoo Collins read it beautifully. Touches it on the ground, McGuinness in pursuit. Poor kick by Cockatoo Collins. Manton, who Robbo's been singing his praises, he has done very well, not only in this match, but through the whole of the series. Over the top of it, Hart, and hasn't had his best night. Kick it clever to Calthorpe, centering kick, big ball here because Essendon have got the numbers. Ola Renshaw and Tregenza. Ola Renshaw taps it forward. Mercury in the dying seconds goes for goal and puts it through. What a goal! At what a moment!
Silly play by Bickley down the boundary line here. He's trying to beat 2 or 3 Essendon players. He should have just forced the ball over the boundary line and lived to fight another day, but he tried to keep the ball in. It was so difficult for him to do that, and then of course the ball got swept up to their forward line. Kickett's been terrific since he's come on this quarter. Calthorpe with that quick kick across the face of goals. It was 2 against 1 here. Tregenza fell over, and this gave Mercury, who's an excellent kick for goal, booted 3 goals in the grand final last year and popped it through. So Mercury, 25 games, 25 goals, I should say. So he's a goal kicker for the Bombers.
Well, big quarter for Essendon. They kicked 5-4 in that term, and at three-quarter time they did 11-7 to 6-12. Three-quarter time, the Bombers kick 5-4 to 2-4. In the third quarter, they did 11-7 to 6-12.
I'm Phyllis. I'm Agnes.
And I'm Rex Hunt, and you're not. Tomorrow at midday, Channel 7, catch you then.
Good on you, Rexy. Rex Hunt, he is, and I'm not, and neither are you. Midday tomorrow. Check your local guides for telecast details. And by the way, Rex hosting the Sports World Hour from 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Dipper, big last quarter, important that the Crows for the rest of the year at least hang in. They're not down and out yet, but it's a big job from there.
Certainly, but I think Neil here has got his suitcase already packed up, his pyjamas are in and all. Now, two plays. I reckon the third quarter is a premiership quarter. Cockatoo Collins and Dale Kickett have pace and skill, as we saw in that quarter. But Dustin Fletcher has certainly picked up confidence, Neil.
Oh, he had a great quarter on Modra. He just backed his judgment and got to the ball first. And when he just kept Modra. You've got to give credit where credit's due. And Essendon played a superb quarter that they backed up well. They got numbers around the ball, and their ground level football was great.
So what do you think?
It'll be a big quarter if Crows get out of this one.
Start packing up, I think.
And there's the Gary O'Donnell stats track. Gary in that first half had 7 kicks and 8 handballs, and we see here with the kicks being in the white arrows and the yellow for the handballs, 5 kicks and 4 handballs that quarter to give Gary O'Donnell 12 and 12. So the best and fairest winner last year in a premiership year, also having a great game tonight in the Foster's Cup Grand Final.
Final quarter about to start. Essendon kicking 6 goals in the preliminary final third quarter. They got 5 in that term. So the last twice they've played Adelaide, they have turned the match in that third quarter. Handball by Rashudo. O'Donnell's quick kick out towards centre wing. Cockatoo Collins and Anderson together. Anderson just leaving it behind, but deserving of a free kick and getting it.
Played that well, Anderson. Knew he was going to get grabbed, left the ball behind.
Sure, Kevin Sheedy's got Cockatoo Collins here to try and exploit Anderson's lack of fitness in the last quarter. He often finds it very hard to run a game out, particularly here. Out wide, Simons, who's very good in the third quarter along with the kicker. Up forward, a diving mark at centre wing. Crows must get the first and the second goal. Up to centre half forward. Now Mercury coming through. Centre half back free kick going to Anderson. Remember that he played in the premiership team with Essendon in the Foster's Cup in 1990.
Anderson just goes to the right, ever so slightly. Jamieson on the Essendon 50-metre line, kicks it in towards the centre. Smart was up high, couldn't take the mark. Liptak a little quiet. Brown, who kicked 2 goals in the third term, and Kilpatrick, the Essendon player, affecting the tackle.
And the interchange bench for the Adelaide Crows, they've got Maynard, Risciuto, Wiedemann and Chalmers, and the Bombers have got Watson, Doolan, Danaher and Delaney.
Smart trying hard, taken by young Stevenson. A free kick has been picked out of it, it's going to Essendon. And it may go back to O'Donnell, is it? Back there, just behind the centre circle area. Gary O'Donnell coming up for possession number 26. Mentioned that he kicked a terrific goal earlier in the game. Good kick by O'Donnell, out wide. Cockatoo Collins, he's quick. He backed himself, kicked it in towards full forward, overrunning it. Manton off the ground's a goal. Brilliant stuff, Manton. Oh, has this man grown in stature in 6 months?
Well, it's his third goal, and I said before Risciuto was on the bench, I meant to say Bisco, they look alike, those 2 players. But Manton on that half-forward line, we see Hurd going up there, played a good third quarter, no possessions. Cockatoo Collins at ground level, a terrific take, and that quick kick. And we see Salmon getting in the back of Pittman and Manton running onto the ball. Bit of Maradona there and just popped it through. So he's an excited boy. 3 goals. He's looking to force his way into this Essendon side that won the premiership last year. Watson's there, young Tony Delaney, youngest player that played league football last year, and Chris Danaher on the interchange bench, and they look pretty confident to me.
Kicked the last 3 goals of the match, Essendon, and they've opened up a big lead now. Stevenson twists and turns back to the centre. McDermott's quick and hurry kick towards half forward. Liptak was the big flyer. Kilpatrick and Smart. Liptak did well. Jarman to McGuinness on his wrong side, but he can kick pretty well with the right foot. Haul the target. Chance for Modra, went over the head of Fletcher. Modra deep in the pocket. Tries to get around, gets legged, and will get a free kick. Neil Curley mentioning the job that Fletcher did in the third quarter. Crows banked it in high, and Modra was often caught out behind. Slap in the face, and Modra deep in the pocket. Need one of those famous South Australian check side punch. He's kicked it pretty well. It's a goal. 3 for Modra. And 7-12 to 12-7. Looks like his eye might have just closed up a bit there.
It's important that Modra kicks goals, because in 25 games last year, only on 3 occasions was he not the Adelaide Crows' leading goal kicker. So he caught one high there with a check side punt. Just pops that through. So he really needs other people to help him kick some goals, because if Modra doesn't kick a bundle...
There's Tony Modra, who's kicked 3 goals, and Dustin Fletcher, who's done a pretty good job at fullback against the numbers. Umpire bounces to restart play. A big punch for the Crows up towards half forward. McDermott falls over. A critical stumble there by Chris McDermott. Anderson fighting hard. Away goes Cockatoo Collins. Didn't have the football. Anderson again. Somerville, sweeping hand pass. O'Donnell again. By gee, you knock up calling that man's name. Up towards full forward. Taken by Kickett, left behind. Attempted kick off the ground by Lee. Essendon force it clear. Mercury receives from Buick. Mercury's shot for goal is offline. It's out on the full over the top of Manton and Ben Hart. And it's a free kick to be taken back there by Ben Hart for the Crows. Essendon have kicked a goal in this last term, and Adelaide have kicked a goal. Pittman punches it away. Salmon, shot for goal by Salmon. Blind shot, Manton and Hart. Hart forces it through. A rush behind to Essendon. So the difference is 26 points in favour of Essendon. Ben Hart goes to the far side, looks for McGuinness. Probably could have nearly been given a free kick. Handball over the top was good. And Bickley kicks it away for the Crows.
Jarman with a panic here, can go right on with it. Decides to kick quickly towards centre half forward, using his body haul against Harvey. Fletcher took a chance and did well. Brown was able to snaffle it though when it went about 10 metres. Liptak's handball back, falling over at the wrong time, Rashudo. Or Tregenza a fumble. Did well to get it back, bangs it back to Modra, outnumbered. Fletcher in the front spot, brilliantly done by Wanganeen. Hall trying to chase, can't. Wanganeen's handball magnificent to Mercury. Turns Jarman inside out. They're an exciting side, this premiership team. Goes to Stevenson. Stevenson to Masiti. Masiti to Kilpatrick. Stop. Look at the footy. Wobbled one to half forward. Hurd. Free kick to Jamison, not paid. Kickett gets one. And Kickett from inside the centre square. And goes towards Manton, who's playing a wonderful game. Buick tries a half volley. Paves the way for Simons, for Hurd. Hurd round his body towards the goal square. Front spot Pittman. Pittman forced a handball in a hurry. Simons after it with McGuinness. McGuinness against the flow will want it to run through. It hits the behind post from throw-in.
McGuinness has only had 13 possessions for the game, and we see Rouvray down there, a little bit of trouble. And Kelthorpe, who's been doing the tagging job, and McGuinness 17 possessions. So he's done a wonderful job for the Bombers tonight.
Rouvray a heavy knock in the head in the last 2 minutes of play. James Hurd. There's a free kick. It's going to Essendon. Too high, indicates umpire Brian Sheehan. Jamison not happy, and James Hurd the recipient of that free kick.
Well, 7 possessions in that third quarter after not having possession in the first half, I think shows the quality of this boy to come back on. You see Hurd there twisting and turning. Now, didn't quite see the free kick in that particular
Pretty
incident.
soft.
Rouvray's coming off, and Wiedemann will come on for the Adelaide Crows.
James Hurd, he's a wonderful kick at goal. Straight through the centre. James Hurd kicks his first goal, and surely that must sound the death knell for the Adelaide side. It's 32 points now, the advantage for Essendon. 14 3/4 minutes left, but it's a big job when you've only kicked 7 goals so far to pick up another 5 in just 14 and a half minutes.
Essendon by 32 points, 13-8 to 7-12. Ren wins the tap. Mercury through the centre. Kick it. Oh, what a second half he's played since he's come on to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick to go for goal. just missing.
The general speed of the Essendon side tonight has chipped away at the Adelaide side around the ground, and this is where I'm certain Graham Corns would be disappointed with his side tonight with the pace at ground level.
Hart goes wide. Neil Curley, what's Rouvre's situation?
Yeah, it's nothing serious, just a knock to the, well, around the jaw area, but he'll be okay if he wants to come back on.
Pittman to Rashudo at half-back. Rashudo called to play on. Wiedemann the target, takes the mark just inside the centre square. Should swing onto that left foot and go with a long one. He does. Modra out in front of Fletcher this time. Oh, good grab. It's a terrific mark from the front.
And a wonderful kick by Wiedemann, because he looked up and saw Modra kick the ball out in front. That's one of the things you've got to do in football. If the guy's 50 metres away, you only have to kick it 42 metres, because you've got to allow the guy to run onto the ball so he doesn't have to prop underneath the ball. You can see there that Fletcher didn't have a chance to actually punch the ball because Modra didn't have to shorten his stride.
Modra from about 40 metres out. Misses. 3 goals, 4 for Modra tonight. And his 4 misses have all been pretty ordinary.
Hasn't looked steady in his run-up at all, Tony Modra, tonight. It hasn't looked balanced. Somehow he's getting too close to the man on the mark. He's not really getting a nice, fluent run in.
43,925 official attendance, which means that a record has been broken for the aggregate attendance for the Foster's Cup Series. Most we've ever had.
Red-hot favourite for the Michael Tuck medal too, the bloke that just kicked that footy.
Yes, he's played a great game, O'Donnell. Kilpatrick and Smart. And at this stage, Essendon at 13-9 to 7-13 look like defending, as Hawthorn did a few years ago. The Bombers in the box seat.
Bounce of the ball at centre-half forward for Essendon. Stevenson gets it away. Back in towards the centre. Simons, good gather. Backed himself and made the half volley. Off to Cockatoo Collins. Growing in stature. His kick drops in short. Mark taken by Scott Lee. Lee goes to the right-hand side, kicks it out near the wing. High flyer Liptak, couldn't take the mark. O'Donnell again, gets the hand pass to Simons. Simons a little kick near the centre, it was smothered off the boot. Kilpatrick plays on, kicks it across his left shoulder up towards half forward. Manton left it behind. Mercury tackled by Ben Hart. Did he have the football? And now the umpire belatedly awards the free kick to Essendon, when I thought it was a certainty that Mercury probably should have received it. It's Manton's free kick. A bit crude there by Brown. Well, Manton saving goals last year. Here he is kicking them. He's kicked 3. Doesn't quite get onto that. Kicks it into the square. It's rushed through by Pittman for a behind to Essendon.
Mention O'Donnell favourite to win the Michael Tuck medal. 29 possessions tonight to O'Donnell. Looks to be in for another fabulous year for the Bombers.
Lee goes wide. Cockatoo Collins closes. Good mark by Bickley. Had an enthralling duel with Buick. Sort of the sting has gone out of that duel as this match has gone on, and Essendon's taken control. They've really dominated since half-time. They've kicked 7 goals to 3 in that period. Up to centre wing. O'Donnell, Mercury, who's getting better as well. Now Wiedemann. Still the lead. Through the centre with a long ball to centre half forward. Smart. Big fly. Tony Hall, who's been out of sorts all night. Handball. Couldn't quite get it to McGuinness. Cowthorpe was always shadowing him. McGuinness over the top. And Brian Sheehan running in to take control at centre half forward for Adelaide.
Cowthorpe with 17 possessions. McGuinness on the other hand with 13 for Adelaide.
Smart, Stevenson, McGuinness. Can't break the Cowthorpe tackle. Stalemate again. And we'll reset the piece.
Hart, it's interesting with Hart starting on the ball. Last year he played in defence. Lee started in the forward line. Last year he played in defence. Bickley, as a ruck rover, mainly last year, started in defence. McDermott started in defence. So Corns changed his side around a little bit tonight. A little bit of balance structure change there for Corns, although now he's got McDermott back on the ball and Jarman back onto the ball as well, and those other 2 guys back in defence.
Smart wins the tap. Mercedes' little toe poke didn't go far. McGuinness, great smother by Kilpatrick. Rashudo round the body, goal. Adelaide still going, which is a good sign, Kevin. They haven't laid down by any stretch at 8-13 to 13-10.
and Risciuto played in defence in the first half, moved to the half-forward line during that third quarter. We see Smart tapping the ball out. McGuinness there, his ball was smothered there, terrific smother by Kilpatrick, and lucks of fortune there for Risciuto that the ball came to him, but it was a great snapshot. He's only 18 years of age.
Well, Risciuto kicks his first goal. It's Adelaide's 8th. Both sides have kicked 2 goals in this last term. O'Donnell gets another possession. Bruce, if he misses the Norm Smith, the Michael Tuck medal tonight, he was picked on the post last year by Michael Long. So surely his chance may come tonight. Scott Lee out towards Anderson. Scott Lee again. No, it's Cockatoo Collins. Oh, run down by Andrew Jarman. Kick it and Hurd share it. James Hurd gets the hand pass away, and the umpire decides on a bounce about 30 metres out from the Essendon goal. Kevin Sheedy can look forward to another very promising season with this Essendon team. A couple of veterans in the side with Salmon and Harvey, and Mark Thompson still to come back into the team, the captain. Bickley kicks it back towards the 50-metre line. Jarman can't control it. Simons goes back to Cockatoo Collins, who fumbles. Jarman, Cockatoo Collins off the ground. Scott Lee quickly, close to the boundary line. Liptak stopped, and still there. He fed it back for Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick to the 50-metre line. Kick it! Spectacular leap and mark to Dale Kickett. He's kicked 1 goal. Graham Corns can see the game drifting away. We'll have another look at this leap.
Kick it over the top there of Jamison. Virtually just took it as a chest mark, but he's a wonderful talent. Jumped hard too. That's one of the things you've got to do when you jump from behind. You've got to jump hard into the opponent so it gives you the ride. And that's exactly what Kickett did that time.
Here's Dale Kickett, who looks much fitter, I feel. Kick to the goal line. Manton, still a chance. Ben Hart. Little flip into the square. McDermott combines with Jamison. Ball goes wide for Scott Lee. Dale Kickett will make something out of this. He made just to behind.
He's been good. Just for the record, Robbo, when Ganeen won the Michael Tuck last year, the Norm Smith was the one where Long just pipped O'Donnell in the grand final.
And the Essendon side tonight without 6 players from that grand final. Denham, Grenvold, Wallace, Long, Hills, and their captain Thompson.
And they've only got 9 members who won the Foster's Cup last year. So what a turnaround. Mercury, Kilpatrick, surely should kick a goal. Goes for it and hooks and misses. Well, that in the end probably too easy for him. He's been all right, Kilpatrick, though.
Had a good 1992 and struggled in 1993. He came across in 92 from North Melbourne, had a terrific year, but last year just struggled to get a game.
8-13 Adelaide, 13-12 Essendon. Hart goes wide looking for Wren. Held his ground pretty well. Big chance now for Tregenza's got a paddock in front of him. That awkward bouncing style, but pretty effective. On the run, a third bounce. Now running into trouble. Shocking kick. Terrible finish, really. Jarman's handball was brilliant to Brown. Brown to McGuinness, turns, spins, left foot goes for it. It's through, it's a goal. Oh, no touch. Fletcher got that big bit out and held it up.
Wren's coming off the ground and Chalmers is going to come on for the Crows. This is a great defensive passage of play here because he's being closely checked here by Bodry. Got a fingernail to it, but what a shocking kick by Tregenza. He must learn to kick the ball and stop fiddling around.
Masidi back to the centre, Hurd. That's his trademark, isn't it? A great mark under pressure with fingertip hands.
A very promising player is James Hurd. High kicking towards full forward. How do you stop Salmon in that position? Pittman from behind. Salmon takes the mark in front of his face. Long arms, very difficult for the man from behind to punch it away.
Well, when you're 6'10" as the game goes on, you don't get any shorter. Sometimes the quick players get a bit slower, but the tall ones don't get any shorter. It's first game for the Bombers during the Foster's Cup. For Paul Salmon, and he's moved pretty well. I think they'd be very, very happy. He kicked 2 goals all in that first quarter.
Well, he should get the distance here. He gets under it a little bit, Does it nicely though. He's got the distance and the accuracy. So 3 goals to Paul Salmon, and Essendon go marching on. Their fans have come out in great numbers, 44,000 people, to witness this great victory by Essendon. They lead now 14-12 to 8-14, 6.5 minutes left in the game.
Pittman tries to get the punch in here, but just couldn't get over the top of Salmon. Now this is an 80-metre kick, 40 metres up and 40 metres long. It just landed like a 9-9 over the line.
8-14 to 14-12. Essendon away by 34 points. Somerville to O'Donnell. O'Donnell a high one. Buick waiting down. Lee takes the mark. Now Bickley. Out wide to Jamison. Short pass looking for Liptak. He's had a quiet night. Brown coming onto it. Kicked a couple of goals in the third quarter. Adelaide's only goals in that term. Kilpatrick. Smart to Liptak. Liptak still outside 50. Dreadful grubbing kick. Wanganeen sweeps it away to Harvey, who squares it. Essendon growing in confidence now. Masiti, they're playing like a premiership team. O'Donnell put under pressure late. Gets the ball back in towards centre-half forward. Hart attacks strongly. Good take by Hart on the up. And a lovely bit of vision to find Hall, who's about 70 metres away from goal. Almost off. Well, in their preliminary final, Essendon kicked 11 goals to 2 against Adelaide after half-time. And tonight they've kicked 10 goals, or rather 8 goals to Adelaide's 4 at this stage. The kick towards full forward. Wanganeen. Just a little chip over to Mercury. Change made. Calthorpe's come off. What a great job he's done. Delaney's got it.
My word. Cockatoo Collins now for Essendon at left half back. Short kick. James Hurd. Did he get his mitts underneath it? Yes, according to the umpire. And the mark has been paid. Hurd is just behind the wing, kicks in towards half forward. Manton makes a contest of it. Buick nearly in the back against Bickley, taken there by Ola Renshaw. McDermott can't go anywhere, but the ball spills for the Crows. Tregenza now on the end of the hand pass, gives it away, in trouble. Prosciutto shrugs the tackle, eventually does pretty well because he was in a very difficult situation. A high kick in towards half forward. Punched away by the Essendon defence, picked off by Brown, gave it to Wiedemann. I don't think Wiedemann thought it was coming. He had one go and then got it the second time, a high kick. Modra, Fletcher nearly took a one-hander at the back. Recovery was brilliant. What about the understanding between those two? 38 years, the cumulative amount there between the two of them, a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, and they clear the ball out wide where Somerville has taken the mark, and Tony Modra looks a little proppy back there in the goal square. Somerville, centre wing, goes long. Essendon have made a change.
Yes, Buick has come off and Calthorpe is back on the ground.
Jamison and Ben Hart. Ben Hart's little kick, pretty good. Mark taken by Anderson. Cockatoo Collins, the Essendon player.
13 and 6 for Anderson so far tonight. Late in the match, with Essendon on its way to defending the night title of the cup. Jarman through the centre. Good looking kick to Liptak. Modra in the goal square. Now creates a lead. Liptak goes short to him, very short. Modra half volleys it. Fletcher with him, gives him a push and a shove. No free kick. Now Modra's handball to Smart. Adelaide are back to where Liptak took the free kick from. Really not doing much with a free kick going to the Crows. And it'll be Smart from about Modra still down on the ground. Just holding his fingers or his wrist there.
Now during the leading up to this game, there was some doubt about him playing because he hurt his hand at training and looks like he may have hurt it again.
Smart's kick not good. Somerville able to take a pretty comfortable mark in the end. Just falling apart at the moment for Adelaide in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Sure, the game's done, but their cohesion up forward is minimal. Kilpatrick gets it from Simons at half-back.
Well, Kilpatrick has been pretty good, 15 possessions. Just holding onto the football. Bombers not in any great hurry. Short kick. Ola Renshaw drops it. Tregenza couldn't take it away from him. Simons from Kilpatrick. Michael Simons makes a rare mistake for Essendon. 19 possessions to that player. Sheedy looking on with much glee. Kick into the centre of the ground. Mark taken by Andrew Jarman. His kick towards full forward. At the back, Somerville couldn't take the mark, but Harvey's there to tidy up. He goes long and wide, very, very wide. It may even bounce over. No, it's going to sit right on the boundary line. Got white chalk on it, the footy. Here goes Dale kicking. Gets around, little kick. Tries to put it into the path of O'Donnell. Down comes Scott Lee. A handball, back to Liptak, back to Scott Lee. Lee's approaching half forward. He kicks it in towards the 50-metre line. Harvey drops it. Mark Harvey short of a run. Andrew Jarman's shot for goal is pretty good. Talented, left foot goal. Andrew Jarman kicks his first goal, and the Crows just hanging in there, but they trail by 28 points.
Well, he's had 18 possessions, Jarman, after starting the game on the interchange bench. I think he's got wonderful hands and vision, and he finished off this passage of play. Just a bad attempt there by Mark Harvey to take an easy chest mark, and just mopped up there by Jarman.
Modra still feeling the effects of that hand. Jarman's first goal. He's had 12 kicks and 6 handballs, Jarman, since coming on. 9-14 to 14-12. Inside the last minute and a half. Free kick against Jarman. And going to Mercury. Right in the centre. Bombers just holding it up now. They know they're about a minute away from celebrating another premiership, and it'll be 3 in a row in a way when you think about it. Night, day and night. Consecutive. Hawks did that in 91. They went bang, bang and bang. They were able to win 3 in a row. A couple of nights in a day, one in between. Here's Simons at 50. Still at 50. Goes long towards the goal square. Jamieson gets back and takes a comfortable mark in the end. It's done all right, Jamieson. Did the job early on Hurd, and it counted for a lot. And to Pittman.
Oh, Pittman just a little too relaxed there with his approach to the football. Mind you, I don't suppose it makes that much difference now. 9-14 to 14-12 in the last minute of the game. Salmon and Pittman to do the ruck work on the 50-metre line. Salmon tries to tap it down. O'Donnell, another possession. And Bickley allows it to go over. O'Donnell, 19 kicks, 15 handballs, 7 marks and 1 goal. Absolute lay-down misère, Bruce, if you were voting for the best on the ground. Pittman in front. Kelthorpe, he's played well. Shot for goal, wanted to take the mark anyway, Somerville. May have nearly gone through for a goal. Somerville is marked right on the goal line. Very important in Essendon's makeup that he plays well when he's in the ruck, he or Alessio, because it releases Salmon to play up at full forward. Oh, geez, he's a big man to get over when he's playing with full forward, Paul Salmon.
Well, I've always thought that Paul Salmon should always play at full forward, not to put him in the ruck at all when you've got guys as big as Alessio and Somerville there, because I think Paul Salmon's capable of kicking 120 goals in a season.
Well, Somerville goes for goal, and he's put it through. So that should be it. The ball will go back to the centre. The umpire will bounce it. The siren will sound. 15-12 Essendon. 9-14 the Crows.
Really came of age last year. Somerville played very, very well in the finals, playing at full forward, also mainly in the ruck to give Paul Salmon a bit of a breather every now and then. He went down to full forward and Salmon went into the ruck. And we see Salmon in the ruck now, but I've always liked Salmon at full forward. I think he's an absolute champion now.
So the Bombers have won. Defended the Foster's Cup. Gary O'Donnell, the favourite for the Michael Tuck medal. Fletcher did a great job on Mondra. They had a terrific duel. Cowthorpe was outstanding on McGuinness. Ola Renshaw set up the first quarter again. Salmon kicked his 3. And here's Dipper with Mark Harvey. Dipper, go ahead.
Congratulations, Mark.
Thanks, Dipper. It's a terrific thrill for our young kids, and back-to-back nights, premiership, what more can you ask?
Yeah, it's worth the wait for 6 months, huh?
Oh, it's been terrific. I mean, we've done a hard pre-season after last year, and the boys have really knuckled down and it's paid off tonight.
I understand there's 12 new players in this side from last year.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new players. We drafted, about 10 players last year, and they're fitting in really well.
And yourself, you feel good?
Probably need the game to get a bit of fitness, mate, but I'll be right home for the next one.
Well, terrific. Enjoy the boys. All right, mate. Back to you.
Mark Harvey with Robert David and Domenico are now celebrating. So the Bombers have won the Foster's Cup over the Adelaide Crows. They did it in the second half when they kicked 9 goals 9 to 5 goals 6. And the final scores here at Waverley Park, it was Essendon 15-12, 102. Adelaide 9-14, 68.
And so the Bombers have started 1994 as they did 93. It's time now for the presentation. Here's Craig Willis.
Thank you, Sandy. Well done to the Bombers. Night premiers in 1994. It now gives us a great deal of pleasure to ask ex-Hawthorn champion and AFL Games record holder Michael Tuck to come forward to present the Tuck Medal for the player judged best on the ground by an independent panel. Please show your appreciation for tonight's unanimous winner, Gary O'Donnell of Essendon. Well, Gary, you did it in 93 and now in 94. It must give you a great deal of heart heading into the home and away season.
Yeah, it's a great build-up for our major season, and the club holds the Foster's Cup in high esteem, and we're very happy to win it, and we're happy that all the supporters came out to support us. Thank you, and hopefully you'll be there next week.
Would you now please welcome Graham Willersdorf, the Director of Carlton and United Breweries, to present the Foster's Cup trophy to the captain and the coach of Essendon.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of CUB, may I first thank both teams for a fantastic game we saw here tonight. The Foster's Cup we have seen this season has been most successful, and we at CUB are very happy to be the sponsor of this great event. I would now like to call upon Mark Thompson and Kevin Sheedy from the Essendon team to come and accept the cup. Paul Salmon, and Kevin Sheedy.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everyone for coming tonight, getting behind us. I'd like to commiserations to Adelaide boys. You know, it's always a big effort to get to a game like this. We're very happy to win it. I'd like to encourage all the supporters at home as well as here to go out and buy the memberships. Get right behind us this year. And a quick cheer out to Longy, who's watching in Darwin. Did it for you, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the official presentation ceremony of the 1994 Foster's Cup. We invite you now to show your appreciation to the Bombers as they run a victory lap here at Waverley.
The spoils, and the Bombers and their fans are getting to enjoy this sort of thing in recent years. In 1984, Jared, they started off by taking the Foster's Cup and then winning the home and away championship. They did it again last year, and they're on track to do it again this year.
Well, the record of Foster's Cup winners, of course, Sandy, is that they do go on and at least play in the day grand final, and I'm pretty sure, looking at the way that the Bombers have prepared themselves again for the 94 season, that they'll be well and truly there in September and perhaps even the first week in October when the grand final's on.
Particularly when you consider that there was some 6 players from their 93 grand final side missing, and these youngsters just keep popping up at Windy Hill.
Everywhere, and there is talk of a couple of other players at Windy Hill that we haven't heard of that have got exquisite skills. And also when you think that Stephen Alessio, who's been a big player in the Foster's Cup, was suspended during the week. 5 games, he'll be sorely missed, but they bring in Paul Salmon. What a list they've got. Anthony Danaher missed out. He's a state of origin player. And Michael Long, the Norm Smith medalist, also wasn't on the ground.
Yep, so the victory lap continues for the Bombers, but in the meantime, the losers must now look to the home and away. Greg Anderson is one of those players. He's with Neil Curley. Neil?
Thank you. Well, Greg, you've been part of the Essendon machine for some time. Where do you think Kevin Sheedy's got this side playing better footy?
They're just running so much better with the ball, from the fence. The fence is just awesome at the moment. They play on at all costs, and they really have a go.
Well, that's what I think their ground level skills tonight were so much better than the Crows.
Yeah, I think they had more numbers at the fall of the ball, and they were pretty disciplined, one par up, and they played very good football.
But being part of the Crows team, you have to be pretty happy with your preparation this year and your sights on this year's approach to a grand final.
I thought we started excellently. I think that really dug ourselves a hole when we missed a couple of easy goals in that first quarter. That really made it hard for ourselves.
Look, Greg, thanks very much for your time, pal. All the best. Back to you, Alan.
Yes, thanks, Neil. Disappointment for Greg Anderson, but all their running players were just stopped tonight. I know they didn't play well in the first half, but we were expecting more in the second half. I'm sure you were, Gerard.
Very disappointed in the whole game, Sandy. I expected the Crows to win, and they were playing that badly at half-time when they were only 7 points down. I thought they could have rejigged their whole structure and come up with a win. The game starts in the centre of the ground, and yet they didn't have a winner there. McGuinness was well and truly blanketed by Kelthorpe, who is really becoming one of the finds for Essendon. Ben Hart disappointing today after a good game. Started on O'Donnell, who went on to win the medal. O'Donnell, of course, also took out Andrew Jarman in the second half. Rashudu had a disappointing game in the centre of the ground. Joe Masidi knows where the football is, and it's got fantastic vision, as we saw all over the ground. I thought Sean Wren also, who should have been a big plus for the Crows, he tried hard, but blanketed also by Somerville, who was improving, as Kevin Sheedy said he would, with the passing of time.
Could questions be asked at the selection table for the Crows?
Well, I think the big question is, did they go in with injured players? Last week we saw 4 Crow players on the bench, all injured. Tony Hall, well, he had a disastrous night, didn't get near the football. Greg Anderson, not too bad in the first half, but faded. Ben Hart came off with an injury, didn't get a sniff, and Sean Hart, of course, we said, wasn't a dominating player. Sean Wren, sorry, wasn't a dominating player, but perhaps he was also carrying an injury. But we were discussing the Tuck medalist, where you could have put in 20 Essendon players before a South Australian or a Crow got a mention.
Oh,
in fact,
South Australians could say you're a hard man.
Well, I backed them today, and I'm sick of donating to the Bruce McAvaney Troubling Fund.
Let's go down to Dipper. Here he is with CC.
Okay, CC, now listen, are you enjoying this?
CC, yes, very much.
This is your first lap of honour on Waverley. How does it feel?
Very good. I don't know, hasn't come to me yet, hasn't hit me.
No worries at all.
But I'd rather, let's just say I'm ready to head into the real side of the business, or the real side of the
Terrific,
year.
looking forward to a great year for you.
Well, I hope so.
Good on you. a very placid young man.
Good on you, Dipper. Yes, and good luck to CC. We'll take a break. More shortly from Waverley Park. The Bombers are victorious here tonight. If you may have just joined us, the winning margin was 34 points. G. Healy, let's talk about the victors. Where do they go from here? They just simply look to be getting better and better.
Well, they have got the renowned junior program there, and they keep producing young players, 18-year-olds out in the track, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, which is a good lesson for the young players out there. If you want to get better, you've got to reach the standard that these guys have shown you at the highest level this afternoon. You can see some of those kids in the dressing rooms there. Mercury is an outstanding athlete. He ended up in a back pocket. He's renowned as a forward pocket, and yet his adaptability is such. And there is the player that I think gave them the light. Darren Buick, his electrifying pace really sparked the Bombers. And now just have a look at this. That ball should have been taken over the boundary line. KB mentioned it through the call. And you just have to question some of the little things that the Crows aren't doing. There's another one that comes up here. Ben Hart goes to ground instead of keeping his feet, and this young man, Manton, surely is the player, the find of the series. Have a look at the way this ball comes out with a handball. There's David Kelthorpe, I thought was second best on the ground, took McGuinness totally out of the play. Great tap on. Tregenza also went to the ground instead of keeping his feet. Left, it was a 2-on-1 situation, but in the end, what a terrific goal to Mercury.
Actually, you mentioned Manton, another young player that's really come out of the woodwork is Ben Doolan.
Well, Ben Doolan was unfortunate tonight because he was going or heading towards votes for BOG. Yeah. Unfortunately, he got injured, but in doing so, I think he set himself up as a potential back pocket for the season, taking Liptak out of the game and showing really that Essendon haven't erred in recruiting him, as many people said.
Didn't Manton love this?
Just showed that Ben Hart lacked a touch of a yard there. Manton really put one of the nails in the coffin with that soccer goal.
Rashudo, well, good players were hard to find for South Australia. Rashudo battled hard, but he certainly wasn't on his own. The performance of Fletcher too, I want to ask you about after we look at that sensational
Yeah, it was a good mark, and another one of those players that the Bombers have turned around, a problem child for a couple of clubs, and yet he's turned him into a top player, well, potentially showing that anyway, as they celebrate from the winning cup.
Let them have a quiet drink. I want to ask you about Dustin Fletcher, his performance.
Well, he started slowly. Modra, of course, had a lot of shots at goal in the first quarter, but didn't have his kicking boot on. But he did fight back. In fact, I thought he was probably in the best 5 players on the ground for Essendon. He blocked and he harassed. And I've got the feeling that Modra was trying to take mark of the year each time. As you see Modra going down, once again, one of my bugbears there, the moulded soles. How can you play on a ground like that?
You're fired up tonight,
with moulded soles.
You are fired up.
The little things in footy, Sandy, they go a long way.
Well, it was also interesting too. He seemed to cop one on the left hand there, but we'll see what happens later on in the week. Dipper is down there in the Essendon rooms, and I think he's got the old man with him, Tim Watson. Tim?
Yeah, the old man is back here. Tim, firstly, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I had a bit of a back problem, and I heard it again early in the game, and so I really had to come off.
Now, great start to the season for the boys.
Well, it is. I think that we sort of held our preparation back a bit with the Foster's Cup games in mind. We skipped the first round, and we just sort of have played a little bit better each week, and I think we're pretty happy with the way we moved the ball tonight.
Now 2 players, Cockatoo Collins and Kicker.
Yeah, well, they're both real live wires, and I think that with the introduction of the 3 interchange players, it's going to mean that we're able to rotate those sorts of guys in and out of our forward line, and they put a lot of pressure on the backs, and they cause spill balls, blokes pick it up, and there's a chance again. So I think that's made a real difference to the side.
Now you're starting to catch up to me. I mean, day premierships, night premierships. When are you going to retire?
I think I've got. I've done a hard summer, and I've got this year left in me, but I wouldn't look beyond that.
Congratulations for tonight, and looking forward for a fantastic season for you, Tim.
Thanks a lot, Dipper. Tough, mate.
You're an idiot, Dipper. Let's have a look at what's coming ahead, because it's going to be a monster season. You'll catch all the action here on 7. Round 1 commences next Saturday, March 26th. Don't forget, check your local guides for details. That's football on Saturday and Sunday. Speaking of Sundays, the Sports World Footy panel returns tomorrow, and so returning for the first time, which doesn't make sense, but debuting for the first time, I'm Rex Hunt and you're not, which is possibly why I said that. But wherever you may be viewing, check your local guides for details. We'll take a break, back with you shortly. Acting captain tonight was Paul Salmon. His side was victorious by 34 points. Here he is with Dipper.
First game back, not bad.
Well, you could say that, yeah, it's not bad. It's tremendous for the guys. They really worked hard in pre-season. Dipper, and as you can well see around you, they really enjoyed tonight.
I see a young pitman try to run you off a few times.
Yeah, and it worked, yeah. It certainly did. Up the ground a bit, and I was wake up to him later on, and I was just calling the boys in and letting him follow down and hoping for the turnover, mate. One of your old tricks.
One of my old tricks? Did you put up all right? That's the main thing.
I did. It was very encouraging. I mean, I didn't go in with high expectations myself. I just wanted to be a good contributor for the night. It was the pace of the game is quite hot, particularly for your first game back. But I'm very happy I got that under my belt for next week, and certainly very happy it was a win.
Terrific. And it's your first time as captain for the Bombers?
First time in a grand final situation. I was captain last year in the finals a bit, but that was one of the great personal thrills to take the cup and so forth. But it really was a fantastic team effort. I mean, I've sort of walked in the back door on this one, and I feel grateful that I've been able to be a part of it.
Okay, Paul, well, good luck for the rest of the season. I think Sheedy wants to see you now.
He was panting at the door for me.
Thanks, Paul.
Yes, let's have a look at the action next week. The home and away gets underway. Collingwood plays Fitzroy. Essendon plays the West Coast Eagle. That will be a monster game. Footscray plays Richmond. St Kilda plays Hawthorn. Another vital clash. Whilst on Sunday, Melbourne plays Geelong. Brisbane plays Sydney. That game is at the Gabba. And a big one at Football Park. Adelaide plays Carlton. The victors tonight, however, were Essendon. For now, it's good night to you all.